You you good over there, Rito?
Hmm?
I said you good over
Oh yeah. My bad, my bad.
there?
Nah, I really gotta beat this mission.
Get that fool. Get.
Like I can't give up until I got to finish. I'm almost there.
Like pop.
I didn't did
Yeah,
this
get him one
like
more time. Pop pop.
I didn't did this already 2 times. I know the third time the charm. What's going on, y'all?
Focus gamer right there. What's going on, everybody? We're back for another Saturday, not Sunday. We're here on Saturday. It's May 11th, Saturday. Yeah, he's definitely locked in. He's getting it. What's up, Exodia? What's up to all my peoples? What's up, my moderators? Brand Smith and Dark Void, both in the building. Um, what's good with you, Jay Biggs? I see you as usual. Your thing is coming tomorrow, so I'll be messaging you tomorrow about
Got it. Whew. Whew. Thank you. Jesus. Finally got it.
I'll message you tomorrow about your um, for your win for your gift card. Um, Risky is Berserker, right?
Hmm?
Risky is Berserker, right?
No, Jose is Berserker
Okay,
SJ.
Jose is Berserker. So what's up, Risky? Appreciate you coming through. Um, my fault for mixing you up with somebody else. That's my apology. What up, Retro? You did come on time. That's Retro number 2. Retro Fusion. Um, no, we were just gonna call him Fusion. Exodia, yeah, everybody in here, squared in here, squared in the building. What's good with y'all? How y'all doing, man? We don't
Risky's
have a
from Twitter.
oh yeah, oh snaps, yeah, that's what's up. Anyway, thank you guys for coming through. We're gonna have a great topic today. I tried to see if some of the other ugh, it hurts. It hurts. Oh, there we go. Some of the other Winging It podcast people will come through, but it seems like all of them are busy. Then that's okay. That's okay. I don't want to bother them today. Side note, uh, today I found out I was old. Um,
Mm.
definitely. I went running.
Hmm.
I added cardio into my workouts, like a heavier cardio into my workouts.
Yeah.
And for the last 3 weeks, I've been doing pretty good. And then oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We're gonna get
Hmm?
to the story in a second. Hold on. I gotta backtrack. Hold on.
You forgot how you hurt yourself? Oh.
No, I know. Oh, it's you. That's who you are. Hey, you're more than welcome to jump on here too. Yes. No. Risky. No. Regardless, whenever I respond to you, I respond how I feel like I should respond, and never would I ban you. If I haven't banned you on Twitter, you're definitely not gonna be banned here. So yeah, no. Don't even bother. And like I said, if it needs banning, my moderators handle the light work. They have full control over all of that. As a matter of fact, shout outs to all of our moderators. There's 2 of them currently here right now, Dark Void and Brand Smith. Um,
We should get
they
Jay in there too.
oh yeah, J Biggs.
He
You
should
know
be a
what?
moderator. He be
V-
on everybody's
Vito
stuff.
Vito said so. Vito said so. So J Biggs, after today, you will be one of our moderators. Um,
Just in case, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, because you do show up um, all the time through all of them. So
Everybody's
let's
stuff. He be on every stream I've
yeah
seen
let's
on
even
everybody's
though
stuff.
you know, on the Juices Loose channel, I think that's where you started off on
Mm.
Winging It podcast. Like you and everything, and if my chat, my participants and stuff would come up
Beetleverse.
on my Stormcast. on YouTube, I would move you over into my moderators. But we will make you a moderator. So shout outs. Let's give that man a clap. We'll go ahead and give
Hey
him a
man, we
clap.
gotta get
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
soundboard, bro. We gotta get that sound. We gotta get them
Oh,
sounds.
I know. We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. Um, every so-called YouTuber. I'm not gonna ban you. If a ban comes, it's not from me personally. It's from my moderators, and you talking out of pocket. But as long as you don't talk out of pocket, nobody's gonna ban you. Like if you have to say what you have to say, then you have to say what you have to say. But just don't swear or anything like that. Like we keep it casual here. But that don't mean you have to agree with everything that we say. That's how my Stormcast roll. You don't have to agree with everything we say. You are entitled to all your opinions as long as they're not hates on other people and that kind of thing. So Vito said it looked like he about to add something to that.
Say what?
Okay, no, he wasn't. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, shout out to you. Jay just won it this week. Between this week and last week. He
Oh
just
yeah,
won it.
yeah. He just winning. He out here winning these streets.
What I was saying was I added heavy cardio to my workouts, right? And so it's been a good month. Um, and I decided like I hit a sprint after I do my long runs. And I'm like, oh man, I still kind of got it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's still horsepower in this boy. So today, I hit the sprint. I was a little bit tired, but I was like, all right, no worries. I can hit this again. Let me get two more of these and I'll call it a day. Yep. Yeah, one of those. But it took like 3 minutes to recover and I was like, okay, I'm good. So I went to go hit another sprint, another 100. And like you know how you really get it when like it's almost like yo, when your car go from like second gear to like six, and it'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Your legs be like, one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit one of those, and sure enough, towards the end of the sprint, like my hamstring was like yoink. I was like, oh, like, oh,
Sit down.
yeah, yeah. So it took me forever. I was away, like far away from the door and everything to the house. It was a struggle to get to my car. I sat in my car for a minute. Baby Sandstorm helped me get to the car. I felt like I was going to black out. I was in so much pain. So I've been walking around with a cane. I would show you the cane. It's sitting on the bed right now. But it's kind of dope though. And let me say this first. As a Ravenclaw brother, I apologize. I'm gonna get one. Okay, I'm gonna get one that has Ravenclaw stuff on it. But this one is kind of dope because it
Has a
has.
snake on it, don't it?
It does, man. And it's not just one snake. It's like petals. It's like leaf petals all around it, and then there's like
Hey,
intertwining snakes
do,
doing this.
do, do you know your house over in Ilgamorny?
No, oh, no, no, I do not.
Well, most likely, if you're a Ravenclaw, you're gonna be the same as what I'm about to say right now. You're gonna be the thorn serpent if you
Oh,
are a Ravenclaw. So
okay.
it kind of fits, what I'm saying, along the lines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you still in pocket as long
So
as you know what I mean.
it almost. You know what's so dope about this? It just looks like a. If I can pull it back enough, it just
Braxton
looks
said a
like a.
pimp cane.
It looks like a long wand, does it not? This
Hmm.
one looks like a wand.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can kind of see the wraparound and the petals, and then like there's one of the snake heads right there.
Hey,
You,
chat.
you
Tell me
just
if
look.
y'all can hear me though. I definitely got to make sure before we keep going.
I can hear you. I can hear you fine. So hopefully they can too. Yeah, thank you. So it's been quite a treacherous week.
Yeah.
I did want to show you guys before we get into to the main topic and our icebreaker as well. Um, I wanted
Serpent. My bad. Horn serpent. Yeah.
I
Yeah. We're part of that
wanted to
house.
show you guys.
All right. Cool. Thank y'all guys. Thank you.
Is that the right one? No, that's not the right one. That ain't the right one. let's move it over to. Oh, they won't let me do that. Okay. Well, then we'll do it this way. Um, can y'all see that? Can you see that?
It's like wide. Yeah, I mean,
It's wide and small.
yeah,
Can you see it
yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just keep on. You know what I'm saying? Like
Tell me when to stop.
zooming in. Keep zooming. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is we had a tornado in Portage. We had four out of the six tornadoes in Southwest Michigan,
Did
which
anybody get injured at all?
no injuries, thank goodness. But Vito will tell you the last time that we had what happened? Cat going
The
crazy.
last time we had one, I was crying in the church basement. That's the last time we had one.
We haven't had one in a grip like in a long time because we
I
don't
was a
really
kid.
we get warnings, but they never drop around us. And the last recorded one that we had was 1987 in Kalamazoo.
Yo, we
Uh,
had one that like formed over us. It just never dropped. It was like it was coming. It
yeah,
was funneling, and it was like 90 something. It was like just funneling like, and then they hit the sirens. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
I remember this because it was. I don't even know you were there that day,
I
but
probably wasn't.
it definitely was it wasn't a Sunday.
Hmm.
It was like a odd day. It was like during like the summertime or something like that. And for some reason we was outside, and then like it just got dark, and then next thing you know like the and so then like Pastor Till, he had like took everybody like everybody go back, get back in the church, get back in the church, go in the basement. We
Hmm.
went in the basement. We all went to those. You remember those one like I don't know if they're still there, but the old bathrooms in the basement.
Yeah, they repurposed them finally.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
those are like our fallout shelter uh, places and stuff.
yeah, yep. So it was crazy. Just had a couple pictures for y'all. So
Dang,
these are all.
that's your
Oh,
backyard.
yeah, that's the backyard, and there was a shed sitting right here. Obviously, there's no shed no more.
Right.
This is the back of the house. We were fortunate. Only the trees hit the top of the house, and there's only a hole, and I think it like busted the top of the chimney. So like that kind of stuff has to get repaired. This is hold on. This is across the street. That right there is a trampoline. That's Baby Sandstorm's trampoline from behind our house.
Oh
Um,
wow! So it came from behind all the way over across the street.
yeah, wrapped around the tree and everything. It was on. It gets crazy because it was on our news station. They drove past, so like she's the popular girl. Um,
What's crazy is this was on CBS national news as well.
oh, that's yeah, wild man.
Y'all was
Uh,
one of
we
the
had a
cities.
we had a 75 foot. It was 7,500 foot pine tree sitting in the front, and it just collapsed that across the driveway. So
Jeez.
there's four entrances to our neighborhood, and all of them were blocked. So like people couldn't get out of the neighborhood. They couldn't get into the neighborhood. Um, this was one of the entrances. You can see trees falling and everything. Baby Sandstorm and Mrs. Sandstorm as well. So this is another one of those entrances.
Mm.
And you can just see the tornado actually touched down right behind our neighborhood. Um, and this is another entrance. So like there was no like warning or anything like that. Giant tree collapse. Um,
Yeah, that was rooted deep, and for that to be
yeah,
uprooted like that, oh my, that was
yeah,
a strong one right there.
ripped off the side of a house. This is another house. It blew out this window, this window, this window, this window. and I think that's it. On top of ripping off their top of their house.
Mm.
Um, and then this one got it. I would say this one arguably got it the worst. Um, so you can see one of their trees ripped up. This whole area right here was all glass. The
Yeah,
tornado actually
you can
came
tell.
through their house, so it blew out the glass right there.
If it went through their house, they got a strong house.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
So so
crazy.
so that's the crazy thing. All of these houses were like
Were they
like
home?
pristine built. We don't know. We don't know if they were home or not. But I thought I took the other picture. But basically, it came through this way, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it blew that glass out, and it blew open and broke the doors that are right here,
Mm-hmm.
and went through the house and blew open their back doors too. So like when you walk past, you can see straight through their house and everything just
Wow,
everywhere.
that's
So
crazy. But you know what's
uh,
crazy? Like you said, like all the houses,
hmm
they weren't uprooted. Like they were still standing. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
good thing about that. Like there can be a good recovery
yeah.
with that. But
As far as us, we kind of came out on top on our side. So
mm,
just right after that, 3 miles down, 5 miles down from us, and you'll know exactly where this is. Right behind Sam's Club, another tornado dropped, and that was right in front of Pfizer. Um, and so it's
Sam's
right,
Club in Portage.
yeah, in
Okay,
Portage.
yeah.
So they built a new like big FedEx building, dismantled the FedEx building completely. All of
Mm.
mobile homes there, they're all gone. Um,
So you can
celery,
tell which ones are like newer built stuff by
yeah,
it being gone.
yeah, celery flats, all knocked down. All them trees back there, all
Mm-hmm.
knocked down. It's just it's wild, man. So they've pulled out a state of emergency for us, for those homes and for those people going through everything.
How
Um,
ain't he doing though? It's like it
she's doing
didn't.
good. You
Yeah.
okay? So you remember that newer? So you remember where our house is, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then down the way from our house, there was like that newer area for like the little bit of like nicer houses or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like Webb used to live back over there. You know, the little white dude that we always hung out and play basketball with.
Mm-hmm.
That whole area is dismantled too. Like the tornado that
I
came
can
from us
imagine.
moved over there and ripped everything up over on that side too. So,
Yeah,
but
I
she
can
didn't.
imagine that. That's crazy.
Yeah, she didn't get caught in it. And
I
then
mean,
like,
she had that she got the basement though too. That you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that basement, like I was saying, I don't know how they, you know what I'm saying, like built
hmm
the houses back in the day, but the basements in Michigan are like, yeah,
yeah.
you want to be down here.
Yeah, pristine. It's 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 interesting because you can go like one block over from any of like the damage and
Mm.
nothing is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have never known a tornado came through. But it's crazy, man. Shout outs to all my Southwest Michigan people. Like I said, we had four drop in Portage, and then there was another two that dropped in St. Joe County and somewhere else that's down there too. So it's just it's unreal. It's unreal, man. But everybody's doing okay. Like I said, there was no casualties
Mm.
at all, so that's great. Our Governor Whitmer, has already put out a state of emergency for FEMA to help everybody who's going through that kind of time, and they're looking into ways that they can increase safety and stuff like that for that. So just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you guys for listening to that part. But I just wanted to give a shout out to my city and everything for the amazing job and all the neighbors and stuff like that who have been putting in work to help out and how fast they were and diligent they were to make that happen. Um, Jay Biggs said after about 2008 we started getting tornadoes in New York City. That's when you knew the climate change was real. Plus we started getting earthquakes after that too.
Yeah.
So in Michigan we've never had an earthquake, but we've had that what do they call it? A tremor. We've had a tremor before, and that scared the mess out of all of us.
Mm.
But this was like some maybe 5 or 6 years ago, We haven't had anything since then. But tornadoes in Michigan happen, but they're so rare that
Well,
like
no,
if
no, they definitely happen kind of closer towards the state line between Indiana and Michigan and stuff like
yeah,
that, just because of that open area. Like it's always
yeah,
being reported as being jacked up, but it does happen frequently. I would say the Midwest in general. Remember how I was just saying something about the basements being built
hmm,
stronger and stuff like that. Literally in the Midwest, like the architecture is, it looks like a ranch style house. That's what we call it down here, a ranch style
yeah,
house. But it has basements. So every house has a basement, and it's
yeah.
like built like a
The
fortress,
only
right?
the only houses that don't have basements are ones that are next to lakes, just
Yeah,
because of the
right.
structure
Because
and
of
all
the
of that.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we at least have one a year. But like us, like I said, Portage, Kalamazoo area, which is like right here, like
It's
kind of
like
on that,
west. It's kind of going
kind of like
towards
on
the
that.
yeah.
Yeah. We don't get them too often. It's usually around us that usually happens. So for us to get one is kind of a big deal. So um
It's a big deal when Chicago had that one. You remember that one that came from the ground up in the middle of Chicago?
yeah,
That was
yeah.
crazy. I was like, what in the world? Oh no.
Monado Mario was good. Sorry, I was in a full conversation and everything. Let's see. Seeing many Xbox and Sony lost videos, yet many of these PC or YouTubers intentionally shove out Nintendo and falsely say Steam Deck wins over Switch. Switch is just a kiddie console. So, Exodia said, "Why do black people be living near tornadoes?" So listen, it's hard to not be near something. You know, like you know what I'm saying? Like in the United States, for the most part, it's hard. Like you go to the East Coast, you're liable to run into hurricanes. You go to the South, you're liable to run into hurricanes and floods. You go into the Midwest, you get the tornadoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Go
then
to
you
the
get
west
into
side,
Death Valley,
you get the
earthquakes.
forest fires and the earthquakes.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of like pick your poison. The thing with Michigan is, and a lot of times it ends up being a good thing, is our climate rapidly changes but in a good way. Like in order to get a tornado, you have to have the colds and the hots mixing together and all that other stuff. But like Michigan is so humid where it either is going to be hot or is going to be cold. Like you don't normally get the hot and cold mixture ever. And if you do, it doesn't last long enough for tornadoes to happen like that. And we really don't get floods like that. Like we may get, oh, my back is
I've
itching
never
like
heard of a
crazy.
flood up there, to be honest.
So we've gotten, I think, since you've been gone, we may have had two floods. And the
Mm.
only times we really get floods is like Crosstown Parkway. You know how it
Mm.
comes off from West Niche Hill, and because it's so low and sits down, those are the only time we get floods, like Crosstown Parkway floods. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
because it has those little lakes around it too. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it overflows from that. Exodia said hurricanes. I ain't afraid of no water. I don't mess with none of that.
Hey, you know it's crazy how they say it down here. Like, okay, no, not down here, but like South Carolina, they be like hurricane. Like what?
Oh, a hurricane.
What? A hurricane?
Yeah.
What is that?
It yeah, Andre. It is extremely hectic, but we're diligent with it. And like I said, most of the houses, like Vito said, most of the houses are structurally sound to the level of, this was a high F2 hurricane. So obviously not the highest, but 135 to 160 and miles per hour speed. So like it's enough, and you've seen the trees. It's enough to pull those trees down easily.
Yeah.
The big boys, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was a whole thing. Jay said it's not the water, it's the wind that is dangerous and the hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought too. Like
Yep.
pulling off, but I see, and that's another reason why I don't bother with it. The other thing that I will say to this, and then we'll move on to the icebreaker, is that I would much rather deal with a tornado than a hurricane, because when you get a tornado, 96% chance, 98, I would even say maybe 99% chance. Once you get hit by the tornado, that's it. A hurricane, because it's so big, you get that one hit, then you get the eye, then you get that back half of the hit too. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Hey, I honestly, I want to add, like, basically the way I look at it, because we did these studies up in school and stuff, but
mm-hmm,
um hurricane and tornado are literally the same thing. The
mm-hmm,
only difference is one gets bigger because of the water. The water does plays a major factor in the fact that it's how big it is,
right,
and that moisture that just gets sucked up in there. And if you think about it, the winds are the most dangerous part, but at
mm-hmm.
the same time, so is the water. Because if you think about how heavy water can get, what it can do, the flooding that comes along with it,
And
it's
the
really the
waves and
wind.
all
So
that.
it's really like the wind is carrying the water to make it a much more deadlier storm
Mm-hmm.
than a tornado. Tornadoes just straight up whatever is on the land, that's gonna be hurled toward. I mean, they're both
Yeah,
equally just crazy, but
yeah,
you have that big. It's like a kaiju versus versus something else. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like a hurricane. The way I look at it is literally Godzilla just coming up out that water, about to just, you know what I'm saying, just get into it. Like that's how I look at it. Actually, you know what's crazy? I thought about the West Coast the other day and like tsunamis and stuff. I'm like, dang,
Mm-hmm.
we ain't heard of a tsunami in a while. But you know them
Yeah,
islands over there, like over in like Asia and stuff, they've
yeah.
been
They
getting
get
hit
tsunami. Yeah,
like. And the first thing you think of is like, dang, I wonder how many stupid mugs out there really trying to surf that.
you know what I'm saying? The big ones, the
Like, here
ones
it
that
go,
be
here it go.
come over the city like this. You know what I'm saying? And just
That hey,
yeah,
the 300, the 300
yeah.
soundtrack.
You just looking up, like in your head, you just like, there's nothing else to live for. Like that's it. We all gonna die.
Hey, that's how I feel like. That's how I feel like if something came out the sky and it was huge, I'm like, oh, yep, that's it.
It's Godzilla.
Let me call who I ain't dating yet. Let me go ahead and see if we can hook something up real quick.
Right,
We
right.
got about an hour.
But I ought to make it happen. Okay, so icebreaker time. Icebreaker. And let's just go with the usual because we're at 32 minutes. What have you been playing lately, Vito? And chat. What have y'all been playing lately?
Yeah, what y'all been playing? Cause I've been playing the mess out of Starfield. That's what I was playing when we got on. So
You got back into it, huh?
yeah, I mean, I see the thing about when it comes down to like games like that, I
Mm-hmm.
take a break on purpose.
Yeah,
So it's like I'm not forcing myself to get back into it, but I'm already itching to get back into it.
yeah.
And then
You
by the
you know you
updates
gotta
happening,
have like a time, like a
hmm
like okay, I got some time to really
hmm
like dive in. Yeah, I feel that.
yeah. And then the lovely thing about that is I can either like I started at home, so I was up
Mm-hmm.
there playing it at home, and then like I just came over to the studio, and it's on the it's on my computer, so I'm able to pull that up real quick. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it transfers over. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
picking up from so left home, went over to the studio. That's why I'm like, no, I got to get this battle real quick, cause I didn't got popped like like too many times, like two times I didn't got ended. I was like, nah, I gotta get this before we start, which it kind of played into it, but yeah. So I've been playing that. Um, I rotate between the Tales of what is it? Something
Oh,
Zoe, the
yeah,
African
Zal,
game.
the
Yeah,
EA game.
yeah. So I've been messing with that. I'm actually stuck at this spot because that's one thing I don't like is how difficult they make the platforming to be to get
Mm-hmm.
up to certain spots. But after a while, once I get it, I'm like, okay, I finally got it. I feel like I accomplished something, but I'm stuck at this one spot. So uh, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give that a rest for right now. Remember, I said I went back and started playing Control again, messing
Mhm.
around with that. I'm waiting on Hellblade to come out. That Hellblade 2. So
Ah, so
um
I know a few people have like at first they were all for um getting Hellblade,
mm.
and then they said that it was digital only, and that kind of changed everything. But you have Game Pass, so
Yeah, I
like,
mean my Xbox digital anyway, so I'm like, yeah,
right.
I don't care. But
Um,
yeah, so those are the ones I'm actually like playing, and then occasionally I'll get back into a game I haven't played in a like minute, or I'll try something on Game Pass real quick,
mhm,
stream it, like stream the game or whatever like that. Like what I recently just I was messing around with the Disney game,
mhm.
the Disney Speed Race or Speed something Speeders or something like that. Their version like Mario Kart. So I was messing around with that, and that was pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty cool messing around with those little abilities and stuff like that. Then, yeah, I want to say Thursday night, I
Mhm.
messed around with I think it was like Lego 2K or something like that, and that was actually pretty interesting. I was like, I like the way that they did that too. So I mean, I was just messing around with just stuff, you know what I mean, here and there, waiting on the games that I've been waiting on, and I do still have stuff on backlog, but I'm like, I don't want to start it just yet because I'm not in the mood for it yet. You know what I mean? So
I feel
I'm
that.
kind of holding off on like Stellar Blade and all this other stuff.
Okay, okay. Um,
But
let
it
me.
is downloaded. It is downloaded. I'm just
Okay.
waiting.
So Dark Void says he's been playing Witcher 2. Brand Smith says Cyberpunk 2077 again. Is that like Phantom Liberty 2077 or like the original game?
Like the main one.
Um, Jay Big said Tears of the Kingdom not doing anything I set out to do. I mean that'd be life. That'd be life, man. In Tears of the Kingdom, we like, man, today I'm gonna finish off this. What is that?
Man, and then you get yeah, exactly. Cause like you know what, I was before I started Splatoon. That's what I was doing, and I was like, yeah, all right, today I got a mission. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna finish that. Next thing you know, I'm in the depths for some reason. But I started off like I forgot where it was, but it was like some forest. I think it was like south. It was south. I was looking for the horse god or something like that,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
He's in the
somehow I
north.
ended in the depths.
Yeah, he's in the northeast.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't
it'd
know
be
what
like that
happened.
though. Every time, without fail, you'd be like, man, for real, today though. Like, I'm beating this. What is that? What is that? No, I'm about to find out what that is because I ain't never seen that before yet. Where my
Or you
rocket
might
at?
be, or you might be in the sky on the sky one of my sky islands, and then you like flying down, like, hey, ooh, I didn't see that
Yeah,
before. What's that over
yeah.
there?
Like, what is that?
Let me.
No, because if I leave, I know if I jump from here again, I ain't gonna find that again. So I might as well just go over there.
Yeah, I gotta go
I gotta,
investigate.
yeah, because it ain't gonna show up again. It'd be a piece of land too. It ain't gonna show up again. I know I ain't gonna see it again. So I might as well just go over
You
there
know
and
what's
dig over
crazy is you do it again, you see exactly where it is, you go straight to it again.
there. Like, let me hurry up.
I'll be like mid air, and I'm like, oh, what's that? And then I change my little outfit real quick to the little the whole fly, because I got the whole fly
Yeah,
joint. So
yeah, yeah.
let me go see what that is real quick.
My man's be shaking when he flying down. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the speed barrier.
Get close, hit the little parachute.
Right. Just made it. It almost got away
Hey,
from
I
me.
know I ain't the only one that sit up here and change outfits while I'm in the mid air too. Like here I go with the
Oh,
little. First I'm doing the fly suit. Next thing you know, I see some water real quick. I'm like, all right, here we go.
yeah, all the
Then I
time.
fly right into the water.
Get up as soon as you get to the top. put it back on the fly suit. Be like, all right. My man. If Link in that game had any power that nobody else had, it was to change suits on the fly that fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could, you know, like, you know, like, you really want to mess with me, dog? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Jay Biggs say do the same thing. Yes, yeah, everybody.
Hey, it's a common thing in Tears of the Kingdom, man.
Hold on. I just saw something very interesting. Uh, do you watch Blood of Zeus?
No, but I
There,
thought that was coming. Is it
yeah,
already out?
yeah. There was like this character though, real on the trailer, real quick. It was like the little side view. It
Uh
looked
huh.
like it was Kratos there for a minute. So I was like, whoa. I know they ain't put Kratos in the joint.
Trying to make sure this is the right. That's not the right one. Let's say it's this one. This must be the right one. Okay.
So what you
Um.
playing?
So, my bad, y'all. Hold on, real quickly. Square said playing too many service games, mainly Pokemon Go and Fortnite. Just beat someone on Pogo PvP. That's what's up.
Okay.
Um, I I only jump into Pokemon Go now just to pick up Pokemon that I don't have and that I don't feel like going to go find. So if they're already on my team, I'll just move them over, or I'll kind of actually go onto the map and be like, oh, like I ain't got Cubone. Let me go ahead and just catch this one real quick. Call it a
I
day.
go on Pokemon Go to just irritate somebody as I battle them.
Yeah, most people don't really play Pokemon Go like that anymore. So
They
it's
don't.
easy to just grab a gym. You know what I'm
So
saying?
whoever it is, I just go over to the gym and just grab them and be like, they come back and be like, hey, who did to? Yeah,
Yep, that
I
was
did that.
mine. That was mine. Shouldn't have put your level 100, your little 100 BP person on there, thinking that nobody was gonna come in here and jack you. Shouldn't have did that.
Yep.
Zodia says Xenoblade 3. I respect that and absolutely love that game. J Big said I got that big white horse. Oh yeah. And it's kind of crazy because the big white horse. It was the big white horse, right? And Breath of the Wild is Ganondorf's horse. So if you ain't played Breath of the Wild, you ain't never getting Ganondorf's horse, which I think is sweet. So I got both of them. Monado said, oh, they're talking about the topic that we're about to get into in a second. What's up, Paz? Appreciate you coming through, bro. And Triple M, what's good, man? Been here for a while, but I can't chat too much. So I'm listening in. We appreciate that. I know you got work and everything. Do that. Do that. And also I've been playing some God Eaters on my Switch and Vita. Not better than Monster Hunter, but I still enjoy them. I haven't even. Is that even good? Because uh, I don't. I don't know. Like I've always wanted to try it, but if it's exactly like Monster Hunter, I may not get too deep into it. Not that I don't like Monster Hunter. It's one of those games that like you kind of like rinse and repeat over and over to get like better armor and stuff like that. You got to farm, and I'm not a huge farmer, except for in Diablo, but that's kind of different. So what games have I been playing? I got back into Starfield as well, because of the update.
Yeah.
And the update has brought in some dope stuff. I like it. I like what they've done so far with the update. I'm happy that they finally allow us to do the whole customize your ship inside your ship. You know what I'm saying? Being able to move stuff around so it actually feels like yours instead of just having like the pre-made stuff. So I think that's dope. Um, a Euden Chronicle. So I'm not the farthest in the game. I'm far, but I'm not the farthest in the game. I got my own place, got my own castle, aka Shadow Bane.
Mm.
Um, I think the game is really dope at what it does so far. It's pushing forward kind of fast for the story, and now we're at the point where we're like, oh, we got to rebuild, so we got to get a whole bunch of people. So this is where the hundred heroes part really comes in. And I think I only have maybe like 14 of them. The story is compelling. I really do like the story right now. I'm kind of grinding because I was using a team, and that team got stomped by these two bosses. And so I realized that one of the characters that they kind of gave me, but I can't like customize them. They gave me a character that has like a shield, like a natural shield on him. So like the hits that he takes are reduced up to a certain point. So I was like, dang, why didn't I use him in the first place? Oh, that's right, because all my other characters were like stronger as far as their strength and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, let me build him back up to the point where I'll be good in that factor. You know what I'm saying? So he can actually handle more hits, and he'll be strong, and he'll have a lot of HP, so he can tank a lot of that stuff. So that's what I'm currently doing in that game. Other than that, I think that's all I'm playing right now. I've left Tears of the Kingdom alone a little bit, just for the same reason that Vito said. It's not that it's a boring game. It's not that it's a boring game at all. It's just those are the type of games that I like to take my time with, and I like to go back and play them in spurts. Just like binge them for a while, and then be like, okay, let me take my time with it. So Starfield is back around to like the binging, um, and I mean, obviously with the update and stuff like that. So having a lot of fun with that. Um, Retro said, Fusion said, run through most of Oceanhorn 2, not a terrible Zelda clone. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Um, Monado said on Steam, God of Year 2 is a discount and it gives you God of Year Resurrection for free. Ah, okay. I'll have to check it out. The other thing that was on discount was Rising or V Rising, and I still haven't picked that up, and I'm still looking at it. I put it in my wish list. It is on discount, but the discount is only 10%. So I'm kind of wondering whether I want to just go ahead and get it because you can get that and you can get all the expansions, but that's like $72. So I'm like, not if I'm not super sold on like having this game. But they also have that and the Castlevania as like a separate discount too, and that's only like $49. So I'm like, okay, well maybe either I can, and I think the sale ends the 22nd. So not this coming week, but the following week after that. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just put a little towards, maybe I'll save a little this week, and then next week I'll go ahead and pick it up. So expect that. Expect that to come around. Um, so yeah, that's our icebreaker for now. Um, so getting into our main topic. Um, I almost forgot. I almost forgot what our main topic was. Continues. Nintendo continuing in success, and we're going to talk about the Switch specs a little bit, as well as Xbox losing vision. I kind of want to start off on the Xbox side, and then we'll talk about Nintendo because there's two Nintendo topics, and then there's the Xbox topic. So over the last week, Microsoft has not had the best reports. I'm trying to see how many employees they let go. So they had to lay off. Oh, that's not the right one. That was January. So basically, what happened is that Microsoft, with the whole acquisition and Blizzard and everything, has had to let studios go. Arcane was one, and I forget the name of the other one. If somebody can help me out in the comment section, they've had to let go two studios. They set up my girl Sarah Bond. Listen, Sarah Bond. In all honesty, Jay, Sarah Bond. What's that movie with Jim Carrey? Where he, Dick and Jane. Like Sarah Bond was Dick and or Jane. Well, Dick because he was the one who was supposed to give out the reports and all that other stuff. and it turns out that they weren't doing well in the slightest. So she she was supposed to be the good looking face. You know what I'm saying? She was supposed to be the good looking face to
Hmm.
try and alleviate all the problems, or trying to downplay, I should say, not alleviate, downplay all the problems that was really going on. Um, and what's crazy is that I'm reading. Golly, Sarah Bond, they're going crazy on Sarah Bond right now. Shuts down studios, break behind. Yeah, yeah. The Hi-Fi Rush, the team for Hi-Fi Rush, they basically let go. That game that they like shadow drop, and I thought it sounded like it did well, but apparently
Yeah,
not
from
well enough.
what everybody was saying, like the reviews and everything was good. It did well.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what happened in that case, but I was looking on my stocks. Um, Yeah, so I guess you see that Helldivers was a big L for. Oh, they're okay. They're going back and forth. Um, at this point, I think Xbox would be better off being sold to Apple. The Xbox might cost 900 to buy, but I guarantee management would. Yeah,
Brand, I'm with you.
yeah, because they were talking. I was looking at my stocks, and one thing that I really try and pay attention to is like the big three, and seeing how investors are moving or how they're feeling about everything. And one of the things that came up was that Xbox sales of this year so far have dropped 32% from last year, which is crazy, but last year's sales dropped 30% from the year before. So you dropped 64% within 2 years, and that's not good. Like that's not good at all. You're looking at a company that has so many of these studios, and now and because of that, you're kind of seeing the effect of it. Like people are getting let go, development teams are being liquidated. Like they're letting employees go. Um, Activision Blizzard, that's like Activision Blizzard was like their main profit within this past fiscal year for them, and that's sad. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really sad to see. Um, Rizzy said, "I don't understand why people want Xbox to fail. Without Xbox, PlayStation would be not monopolizing everything." I don't. You okay? So I would say this. I would say this to that. Um, and I told actually I told Jay this, not Jay Biggs, but my podcast brother Jay Fleming. Um, he said kind of the same thing. Like, why does it seem like everybody's so happy that Xbox is failing? Um, Green Goblin said it best in the Spider-Man one. Is that everybody wants you to be super. Everybody wants you to succeed until they don't. And the moment you fail, that's when like everybody hates you. Like the moment you start failing, everybody hates you. So you can never do right at that point. So why bother? And that's kind of how Xbox is viewed these days. And that's so unfortunate. No, I really don't want Xbox to fail. I would love for them to switch places with Sega if they possibly could, to be honest with you. But um, X Xbox to me has kind of lost sight of themselves, and that's why I think that's a problem. Um, they them and Sony in the early generations had this whole little fight between like who's got the more powerful system, and Xbox is like we can do anything, or Xbox slash Microsoft is like we can do anything we want because we got my money. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't really matter to us. We got money. You know what I mean? Like let's I'll slap a fool with some money and they'll put some games on my system. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how Microsoft literally was. but now the times are a little bit different where you can't do that. We don't have as many developers as we used to do in the seventh generation. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So like you look at you look at all the developers we have now, how many of those games can you make exclusive and how many people would really flock to your system because that game is exclusive? Not too many. You know what I'm saying? Like there's really not too many. If Call of Duty was an exclusive for Xbox, would that flock a bunch of people to Xbox? Probably. Are they going to do that? No. Why not? Because it makes the most money. They want it to go everywhere. They want them dollar signs, and that's why it is still to this day a multi-plot game. But like anything other than that, what can you really think of that's going to flock somebody to your system? Like Street Fighter is an exclusive. It's not. Tekken's not an exclusive. You know, like those games that would bring those niche people, and like those games don't even sell to the level that they need them to sell at for them to make an impact in that kind of way. So it's all to say that like Microsoft lost the vision when they tried to play the game of they tried to play Sony's game. And Sony's game has been for the longest time, we'll have our own exclusives. You know what I'm saying? Like we will take this game and make it exclusive so you can't have the game. Not because we just really need the game. You know what I'm saying? We just don't want you to have it. Street Fighter 4 was that? Is it 4? Was it Street Fighter 4?
What?
I think it was Street Fighter 4 was that way for the longest time. Having the exclusive. Um, Hogwarts Legacy, perfect example. Like you get that extra level.
Yeah.
Yeah, the extra quest that wasn't available to anybody else for what almost a year and a half.
It
Um,
was totally a year. I think
y-
the anniversary of Hogwarts, maybe a little after that, that's when it came to everybody.
yeah, so super perfect example. Forspoken is not an exclusive for Sony. It was just a timed exclusive. Like that's coming to
Oh yeah,
Xbox.
that's right. True, true. Yeah.
They just got it as an exclusive, so it would not come to Xbox. Like that's the game that Sony plays, and they
They play Drake games,
yeah, you
pretty
know what I'm
much.
saying. And Xbox tried to do the same thing with like developers. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so you're gonna play that game? So we'll go ahead and grab. Actually, it was ZeniMax, not Bethesda. Bethesda was kind of part of that deal with
Mm.
ZeniMax. But like, okay, we're gonna go take them. Oh, we got Ninja as well. Um, oh, are y'all talking more mess? Let's go ahead and get Activision Blizzard, even though they were already in trouble. But let's go
Hmm.
ahead and get them. Like, and that's the problem is like none of these other companies are really producing at all. I can't even say to that level at all. None of them are really producing at all. So now you're in a situation where it's like, yeah, you got the Netflix of gaming with Game Pass, but like you're not telling anybody to buy your systems like that, like because they can get it anywhere. You like, why do we care? Our software can sell on Steam and we're all good. Like we're cool with that. But that's part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? And Sony is kind of slipping into that situation too, where it's like we're spending too much money on this stuff. We need the most money we can, so now we have to start putting some exclusive on PC too. Because why would that hurt? That's not gonna hurt. It's not on Xbox. It's just on PC. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Um, let's see. Except uh, oh, he said PS has been the market leader since PlayStation One era. Not true. Um, except the times when Nintendo was market right, like the Wii, yeah, like the Wii, and the Switch too, because they're market leader with that. There was a good 3 to 4 years when 360 was way ahead of yeah, PlayStation was way behind, and the only thing that changed that around was when they decided to make that price drop on the PlayStation 3 because nobody was buying it like that, which is crazy because I remember seeing the PlayStation 3 for the first time uh, at this girl Sonia's house. Her brother had one. And I was like, dang, is that a PlayStation 3? And she was like, yeah. I was like, man, how much did he spend on that? And I think he had the lowest model. So she was like 600. I'm like, no, that might have to be the middle model. She was like 600. I was like, y'all must be rich.
Wait. When they first came out, it was all like 600.
Okay, so 600. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that must have been the base model. Yeah. No, not. I ain't. Yeah. Y'all rich. Yeah. I ain't think, to be honest with you, I didn't think at that time.
I can go buy a pistol for that. I
Right.
ain't, you know
How
what I'm saying? Like,
when that first came out, I was, to be honest, completely honest with you, I didn't think any of us were ever gonna be able to buy a PlayStation 3.
I literally said I wasn't going to, and I literally didn't. I literally got that as a hand me down later on down the line.
Yeah,
I was like, no.
mine was way down the line. Even
I
after the
don't
price
know. I
drop.
don't know. Cause remember when you had got that job, you start splurging on stuff, and then that's what you got.
You got
You
the
got a
PS3.
PlayStation 3. Yeah,
But
and I
see,
came up there.
that was well into the price drop though.
Oh,
Because I remember even
wait,
having the
wait.
price drop, and then I got the 360 before I got the PS3, and I
That was
had
maybe like that was like 2 years within that price. Well, the original the
mhm.
original releasing of it when you finally got it.
When they did the price drop.
Yeah, it was 2 years in it because I
Okay.
remember when it first came out. I want to say I was at the end of my first semester of college, possibly going into that summer, and then like you had it like 2 years later, I believe.
Okay, because I had the 360 first. I know
Hmm.
that.
Yeah,
Um, and I had it all the way up until the Red Ring of Death, and I was like, can't do that again.
I never got that. I ended up. I forgot what happened to mine, but it was like all types of weird stuff with the 360 was jacking on, like just pause,
Yeah.
uh, going on with it and stuff, to the point where like there was like 360 specialists that will like fix up your stuff like real quick or whatever. Like it
Right.
was all types of stuff. They didn't finally get that right until what version was that? Um, the one that came with the joint on top of it,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
memory joint on
The
top of it.
memory card, yeah,
Yeah,
or the drive or whatever.
yeah.
Um, no, let me go to this one first. He said, Sony, we're doing bad. Xbox Division, hold my beer. Nintendo strike. You know what's so funny? If I can say to the side, how many
Let's see.
times? And this is not. What do they call that kind of question?
What?
Um, a question you don't need an answer to. What is that? A starts with the R. Um, rhetorical. This is a rhetorical question.
Mm, yeah.
Sony and Microsoft aren't doing that great. How many times have you seen on Twitter or anything else? Um, Sony should go third party. Xbox should go third party. But when Nintendo does bad, yeah, they should definitely go third party. How many times have you seen that for Sony and Xbox? It sounds like you got, yeah, it sounds like you got a drone in the house.
Dude, like we're right next to the this Lawrenceville airport,
Oh, okay.
where they film Fast Six at.
Oh, wow.
You know the
Okay.
airplane scene where it was like they
Yeah,
was up there doing stunts and
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like we're right down the street from there, so it's probably some some rich person with a little night flight, little evening evening flight.
Okay, now Brand Smith. Sarah Mine getting thrown to the wolves, called the mainstream media. They've been grilling her all day on social media, and the main problem is Satya and yeah, booty. They don't understand great. Yeah, and that's what's crazy about it because they knew what they were doing. Like they knew they were gonna set her up in the first place. Like look at this. This is funny. This is funny. It's kind of messed up, but it's true. This is funny. This is the situation that Microsoft is in right now. Like that's bananas.
Mm. Yeah.
That's bananas. You got one, two, three, four studios that are
A
now
couple of
kicked
hard
out.
hitters out of there too.
Yeah,
Like Prey up in that thing.
yeah. The
The
Eagle
the
Within
Evil
is gone.
Within, High Five or the Little
Dishonored
Rush,
is completely gone, and that was a big.
Dishonored.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's
wow,
some hard hitters right there.
and they ain't gonna be no more. Like it's crazy. It's crazy that they they're falling and failing like that. Um, but that's what I'm talking about. That like the vision, whatever vision they were going for early in the Xbox One, like it ain't. It still ain't showing no signs. And
Nah.
and and whoever the CEO, what's the name of the CEO? Let me see. Um, CEO of Microsoft. Yeah. Satya. That's what we was talking about. Yeah. He um he never liked the Xbox Vision, the division anyway. Like he's trying to find any and every reason for that division to be gone. And Xbox doesn't make money like that. Like Xbox hasn't been making money like that for a while for
Mm.
Microsoft as a whole. So so like that man has got his hand on the button and is like, please give me an excuse. Like all I need is a legitimate excuse to get y'all out of here. Give me one. Please. Please, I've been begging for it. Um Brand Spencer, until that get new man Xbox days of requiring companies should be done and over with. They really should. They just need to. They need those studios to come out with games at this point. Um, Anything, and we've already gotten word that the Perfect Dark game is getting rebooted again because it wasn't like it lost its vision or something like that. I can't remember what they said, but basically it's starting all over again. Um, JB said the problem with Microsoft is that once Nintendo and Sony said they didn't want Game Pass on their systems, Microsoft was screwed. Yeah, yeah, because that would have changed everything if they had Game Pass on there. But then that would have killed it for both Nintendo and Sony. To be honest with you, like already Game Pass and idea is better than Sony's PlayStation Plus and all that other stuff they were offering. And Nintendo didn't really have anything like that anyway, besides like the Switch expansion and all that other stuff. Switch Online to get their games and everything. So it really literally would have been just Nintendo's stuff that you have to pay $20 for, and then Microsoft's all their third party deals and all that other stuff. And that, oh yeah, like so I can see why both of them would say no. You know what I'm saying? Like Nin- Nintendo and Sony, they would much rather do their own thing, and you can already see that with Nintendo with EA. Like EA was trying to get them to do their online with the Wii U, and Nintendo was like, "No, like we'll do that ourselves because we don't want you having control over the stuff that we do."
Right.
Retro said Metal Gear Solid 4 saved PS3 before it dropped. 360 was running away with the generation besides the Wii. Oh, yeah, exactly. Rhetorical, yeah, thanks, Brand Smith. I appreciate you. Um, I was playing my 360 on a day it hit 99 or 100 degrees. My red ring once I unplugged it and let it cool down. It was fine. Yeah, I had the other one. I had the other red ring. Like, you know how it gave like two different signals? I think it was like one where it was like all four rings and the other one was like two rings or something like that, or three rings. I had the other one. Like, it wouldn't turn on after that point. I was like, yeah, this is done for. When Nintendo does good, yeah, when they do good, they need to go third party. Yeah, facts on that. Um, they've been saying Nintendo should go third party for 13 years now. Xbox just now catching fire like this. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like a Titanic type of situation. Like that ship has kind of been slowly going down, um, and it's still that way. Will Nintendo's next console get as many AAA third party games as Xbox or PlayStation? No, No. I can easily tell you that's not going to be the case. And will it ever be the case? I highly doubt that will ever be the case. Um, and still, to me, to this day, is it's to be honest with you, it's really not anything to do with the console itself. And I'll take history for it. I'll take history in this sense. To make the most sense of it. When a console does so well, and you can even see it with the Switch too. When a console does so well, regardless of how well a game runs or doesn't run on a system,
Mm.
a company will jump those hurdles to make something for that system specifically. Case in point, the Wii. The Wii the Wii had the Force Unleashed, but the Force Unleashed for the Wii was not the same Force Unleashed for both the 360 and the PlayStation 3. Why did they still put it on the Wii? Because that console was selling way more than both the PlayStation 3 and the 360. So they accommodated for that. The same thing happened with the Switch as well. If you notice, when we first started off with the Switch, the main topic, and it's I mean it's still ongoing, but the main topic was is that the system is not capable of, it's not powerful enough to run these games. There's no way. There was at one point it was like, oh, you can't even start up the what is it the intro of whatever game it was. I'm sure somebody in the chat will tell me which one it is. Namco Bandai themselves was working directly with Nintendo on Smash and was actively telling us that you could not play Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on this because it wasn't powerful enough. You couldn't play Dragon Ball Fighters on here because it's not powerful enough. Heck, you couldn't even play the Shonen Jump game on there because it wasn't capable enough. And yet, years later, after the system sells, it's like, oh, yeah, you can. You can play that. Guess what? It's coming to the system. Why is that? Because they're actually selling really well, and because they know that even if not everybody's going to grab that game, somebody's going to grab that game for the system. The same reason why Harry Potter still came out on the system, even though fundamentally the game is way different from the PC, PS4, and PS5 versions, where it's not as open world. People still went out and bought that in droves. Why? Because and WB still stood by it and put the game out there. Why? Because the system sells. The system is a seller. The same reason why Batman Arkham Knight is on there when we first got Arkham Knight, they were like, there's no way in the world that this would run on the Switch. Why? Because the system sells. That should also tell you too that most of the developers that come out with these games lie to you first because they don't want to be bothered with it. Or it may not just necessarily be the developers, but whoever is pushing, I won't say pushing the narrative, but whoever is the boss of that area is telling them they can't do this because our focus is here. We're not putting this on here on this platform because we may sell better on this platform. All this stuff is about sales. To me, it's nothing to do with the system's capabilities and all that other stuff because Unreal Engine 4 can work on the highest graphical level of PC all the way down to a cell phone. Like that in itself should tell you that it has nothing to do with the capabilities of the system. That like that's the reason why they make that way. The reason why they have the engines made that way is because they can streamline that stuff. They can put that stuff out to everything without having to hard code all this stuff and trying to get all the specs right and everything. It's not like it was back in the day. Like specs aren't as aren't like the straight basis of everything. And that's something that I want to get across to everybody. Specs don't matter as much as they used to. The numbers don't matter as much as they used to. Remember when we used to talk about polygons and stuff like that? That don't matter anymore. Remember how you used to talk about teraflops and all that? Who's using teraflops these days? Like, who's really talking about teraflops these days? You know why they're not talking about teraflops? Because that was always a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a loss for words these days. What is the word I'm looking for? Gimmick. That was always a gimmick to try and throw numbers at you to make you feel like, okay, this is how much more powerful. Because in reality, how much of a difference is there when you're looking at a game and you're looking at something from the PS4 to the PS5? Now a person would be like, well, 4K versus 1080, duh, the graphics are way more better in this game. Okay, but if you take it from this angle, then how much has a game changed from PS3 to PS4 to PS5? Like, how much functionality and fundamentally has a game changed between those three generations? They really haven't. The last time that we've gotten a real change between the two, I would argue, is the 64 PS1 64 to the 360 PS3 and Wii days. Ever since then, everything's always been the same. Open world, the same. Invisible walls that Shadow likes to point out, been the same. Like, those things are still things that we still have to deal with. The only thing is people want to talk about pushing polygons and blah 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 blah. Let me go down, and then I'm gonna go back up. So don't think I'm gonna miss your talking points, guys. Brandon Smith said the last time I heard polygons being a topic of any platinum game, saying how many polygons they were used to craft right. Let's see. Look at Mortal Kombat 1 on Switch. The game came out a mess. People must have ran out and bought the game because they fixed the game a lot. Yeah. Unreal 5 can run on a game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Unreal is set up to work for absolutely everything. Like, they want that so you can port that to everything without having a real big problem about it. DQ 12 Metaphor will definitely be on Switch 2. Dragon Quest 12. They're not making their money back replacing. I would say that's facts too, because I feel like Dragon Quest sells the best on Nintendo platforms. Let's see. Oh, and then you said I just wanted GTA 6 for the next console. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. So, so basically, and I'm gonna have you actually do your homework on this one, because I'm not gonna bring up the video for it. But basically, Rockstar and Nintendo, I won't say don't get along is not the right term I want to use. Nintendo doesn't really actually have a problem with Rockstar. It's Rockstar that has a problem with Nintendo. They used to work together a little bit, like Chinatown Wars and stuff like that, Body Harvest. But statistically speaking, Rockstar has never really messed with Nintendo, and I think it has to do with back in the day, Nintendo doing like heavy censoring and stuff like that, and Grand Theft Auto, and you know how that works. The last game that we got before the GTA trilogy was and before LA Noire and all that other stuff, was Bully on the Wii. Like, we hadn't gotten anything since then, and you know how kind of Bully kind of runs. It doesn't really need too much censoring because it's geared towards like a younger audience without being geared towards a younger audience. You know what I'm saying? There's like not sex and all that other stuff and pornification and all that. So but the real reason that Grand Theft Auto doesn't put, or Rockstar doesn't put um, games on Nintendo is because of their own personal problems. Because you can't tell me that Grand Theft Auto 5 at this point can still not run on the Switch. Like, that's not, try me. Like, please. Like, 360, if it was on the 360 and the PlayStation 3, there's no reason why it would not run on the Switch. Even if you gave it 360 and the PlayStation 3 version and not the PS4 and the Xbox One version, like, it would still be able to run. It, even if you didn't want to do that, you could have still put Grand Theft Auto 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or San Andreas or Miami Vice or any of those games. And the reason why they don't is because they have a personal vendetta against them. That's why Nintendo does not get Grand Theft Autos. That's the sole reason. Um, is that too much to ask? Well, we gotta all we. I mean, if hey, Risky, if you want to come through and start a petition, I will back it up 100%. GTA 6 for the next Nintendo Switch. I'm on it with you, 100%. Um, Brand Smith said it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. They need to get enough. There will always be devs who just don't care for it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't really care about Nintendo like that. And statistically speaking, most people these days, not even just Nintendo people, most people these days have two consoles or have two ways to play games. Vito, what was your, well, you got all consoles now, but like what before, like when you were first, like when we were first really kind of doing the channel, what consoles did you really have? I think you had the
Xbox and
PS4.
PlayStation. I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you had two consoles. So
Mhm.
like we most people have two consoles to really juggle, whether that's PlayStation and PC, Xbox. Well, that's probably the least amount. Like people who have Xbox and PC, um, just because those are both home consoles. You know what I'm saying? And Game Pass on PC. You know, um, but like PC and Switch, or Switch and PS4. Most people have multiple game consoles, so to them, it not being on this console doesn't really matter because they could probably buy it on another console. Is how they're looking at it. Like,
Mm.
we can just save that money. They're gonna buy it on something else anyway, so it's not really a problem to us. Um, he said that Nintendo needs to stay competitive with tech. Well, I'll say this about Nintendo and technology. It's kind of the same way that Apple is with their technology. A lot of companies go for the newest, latest tech. Perfectly fine. And they buy it and they put it together at a loss. And then over time, with both software and the lower pricing of making said consoles start to reap that benefit. Nintendo and Apple want that benefit now. And the reason and the way they do that is by, instead of taking something new that has new tech with it, they take old stuff and master that tech.
Mm.
They take what's already placed and push it to a whole different level. Um, they've always been that way. Well, I won't say always, but especially as of lately, they've been that way. They started off with the Wii. Like the Wii was already basically the GameCube. And as a matter of fact, the Wii attachments, like the nunchuck and all that stuff, that was supposed to
Mhm.
be GameCube stuff. And all they did was just repackage it, overclock it, and call it good. And that gave them more time to master on that chip. That's how Nintendo works. So when you're talking about being competitive with the tech, they may not necessarily be competitive with the numbers, but the idea that they put behind the tech. It's not always solely about the power, which I was saying earlier. It's not solely about the power and what they can do with it, but how they master it and transform it into something completely different. The Switch is a perfect example. 2017, the as Shadow would say, the Tiger X1 was the most powerful SoC on the market, and it took Apple to beat them at that point. But if you look at it, who else had a form factor system like that with the wattage like that with a face like that? Because there was already, mobile game consoles like that, but that with that form factor, that notoriety, putting out putting out games like that, the unique games like that. Like, who else had a Breath of the Wild before Breath of the Wild? Nobody. Who else was putting out a Mario or even Street? But we can even talk third party. Who else had a Doom game that you were playing handheld? And if you didn't want to play it handheld, you wanted to play it on the TV. You just pop it right in there, and bloop, it just shows up like that without having to do any extra stuff. Nobody. That they were the only ones. And if you wanted to take it two player, mind you, the two player is not the best when you have to use one Joy-Con. But who else was doing that though? Like, who else was taking, like, oh, you want to play? There you go, my boy. Let's go. Who was doing that? Nobody. So it's not always solely what you can do power wise with the tech, but how you utilize that tech. And Nintendo did it so well that Steam Deck, ROG, like all these other people were like, we gotta get part of that market because that's hot right now. Like, we're trying to jump on that. Now they're not pushing, they're not trying to push polygons and all that other stuff and numbers and all that other craziness. And even if they were, it's not the smartest idea because handhelds are all about battery life. Ask Sega and the Game Gear. Ask them about that. Ask them about that. Ask them about my 6 battery layout. How long that lasts. Otherwise, PC handhelds would eat their market sooner than later. I still don't know. I don't agree with that. Nintendo's first party titles is always what keeps them afloat. And they don't lose money on their consoles as long as their software sells, I should say. So the software selling is already helping them with their console market. Facts. J Big said no one is buying those handheld PCs. They're getting bought, but they're definitely not getting bought to the level of Switches. I guarantee if you put in together all the handheld PCs together in sales, they're not equaling Switch sales. Like, I don't even think it's anywhere close. Brad Smith said that's no longer their agenda to do so. They're not worried about PC handhelds that sells less than a fraction of what their hardware. Yeah, super facts. There's not that many third-party AAA games. That is a super duper fact right there. There isn't too many third-party AAA games anymore. And as a matter of fact, who said quadruple A? Ubisoft and Skull and Bones. Ubisoft gave you Skull and Bones for a quadruple A third-party game, and look how that turned out. And I bought it, so I can talk about it. So, let me see. Did I get a message? Oh, you sent that. Okay. I was like, who sent me a message? Let's see. So, Monster Hunter Wild. Dragon Quest 12, Elden Ring, GTA 6 won't be Nintendo. So one thing that I'll say with that too, don't ever, especially with Nintendo, don't ever count those type of things out. Yeah, if you ask right now, are those games coming? I would say I don't know. Like, because honestly, we don't know. But what happened with the Switch? Like, we got games that came out from the 7th generation that should have been on the Wii come out for the Switch. LA Noire. Perfect example. dang, I'm blanking on it because it just popped in my head. Crisis. That was in the seventh generation. We got that for the Switch. You know what I'm saying? It just because you don't hear about it now, or even years down the road, doesn't mean that it's never coming. Um, those games can easily show up on anything. As soon as those sales start going in, that's when the money starts piling up. That's when people want to jump on. It's crazy to me that EA is still not making games for the Switch like that, and the Switch is selling like crazy. But it's not because EA. Excuse me. Like we haven't gotten a Need for Speed for Switch, not a main Need for Speed. And the reason why is not because the Switch is not capable. The reason why is because Nintendo told them, no, we don't want to use your online infrastructure for the Wii U. Like we just now got Crisis. Think about that. Crisis was all the way running for the Wii U. Like they had it in hand. Here it is. All you have to do is tell us, yes, we have put it right here on the Wii U. And they said no. And they were like, oh, yeah, it can't run. Can't run anymore. Square said, I'd still get a new gaming laptop before getting a handheld PC. And facts to me too. I don't need a handheld PC. Like all my PC games are designed for me to just sit right here. Like I don't want to take it with me. I don't want to go nowhere with it. I'm not trying to deal with all that. Gaming laptops are expensive. I mean, PCs are expensive too. To be honest with you, this baby beast was not cheap. PC handset prices starting to become more and more affordable every year. They will never get down to Switch numbers. Like even if they did, they don't have any exclusives. Like that's the biggest. That is the biggest thing about PC handhelds is they're the only ones that don't have exclusives. There's no exclusive game specifically made for a PC handheld. Um, and that's what and I also say that that's the reason why most people will probably get a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox, even an Xbox, over getting a PC handheld. The Xbox less so because again, Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? But with PlayStation 5, at least they have exclusives or time exclusives even for themselves. Ghost of Tsushima is eventually coming to the PC. Or is it out yet? No,
It's
it's
already
coming to
out.
the. Is it already out?
Hold on, let me make sure. Hold on.
But that's like the perfect example. Like even Sony's their exclusives, their first party exclusives, are now becoming timed exclusives. You know what I'm saying? Spider Man is already on the PC. You know, Miles Morales is already on the PC. So it is just is one of those things. Like the only one who has exclusives is Nintendo. So and PC, like I said, PC handhelds don't have that. Ransomith said Dragon. Yeah, that's what I read. Okay. So now we're getting back to that. Dark Voice said one thing I can guarantee is when the next Switch is unveiled, Digital Foundry is going to smear it. Oh, absolutely. I'm kind of surprised that they don't have a thing about these leaked specs. Let me see if they do, because they always love to be right.
This week.
Yep, they do, don't they? New Switch 2 reports.
You heard me?
Oh boy. It comes out this week?
This week
Okay. Okay.
for
Um,
PC. Yep.
I'm gonna put a couple of these on my watch laters. See what they have to say. This is gonna be funny to me. That may be next week's topic. Um, GTA Chinatown Wars on it. Yeah. Yep. Chinatown Wars. Manhunt 2 was the last real mature Rockstar game before the Switch. Yep. I think Rockstar is going to test the next generation Switch first, meaning we will probably see Red Dead Redemption 2 on their first test audit. Yeah, and even to that, like we just got Red Dead Redemption. Just got Red Dead Redemption. That's a PlayStation 3 game. No reason why it couldn't have come to the Wii U. You know why it didn't come to the Wii U? Because it wasn't because they had have that kind of falling out with them, and it wasn't selling well. But why didn't that game come to the Wii or to the Switch early on in the life cycle when they knew that it was selling like crazy? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, Switch can't run GTA 3 collection properly, and that makes you think it will. Apples to oranges, my guy. That's not the same thing. And as a matter of fact, none of the GTA collection was running well on any of the systems. So that makes you think: Can they? Are they capable of running well? A GTA 6 running well? GTA 3 collection is on the Switch and it runs like trash. All of them running like trash. Super fast. GTA 3 Vice City and San Andreas is on the Switch. Yeah, I know. And they all run like trash, even on the PS4 and the Xbox. GTA 3 is okay on Switch, and to be honest, all the versions. Thank you. Yep, just said that. Um, Explain Red Dead on Switch. People say the game runs great on Switch. That's what's up. Remasters were originally mobile games. They're remastered for console and PC. I didn't know that they were originally mobile games. Yes. That is why the ports didn't come out as good as they have. Yeah, that they didn't give the PC ones; they gave the mobile versions, and I don't know why they did that. That was a weird move. They're talking about the collection, the GTA collection. Instead of giving us the ports from the PC, they gave us the ports from the mobile. All consoles, not just the Switch. Yeah, that was a weird move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quadruple A. Ubisoft needs to put right. Yeah, first quadruple A. Elden Ring will likely be on Switch too. It was more of a miracle that Skyrim was on Switch. And most Need for Speed Most Wanted U on Wii U was good. Too. It was good, but we didn't get a Need for Speed for this generation. You know why?
That's because they
Uh,
ain't even making these speeds like that right now, dude. Like
the last one we got was so there was Heat, Need for Speed Heat, which
that,
that
but
was
that
on
was
Switch.
like the last. Okay, but that was Switch. But still, like
And then there's one after that, but I don't know. But that one's the weird one. I've heard mixed
I thought
reviews
Heat
about
was the
that
last
one.
one.
Yeah, I did too for a while, but there's one where they took like real looking graphics and mixed it in with like how like you like when you do like a drift or whatever, like
Mm.
the how the smoke comes up. The smoke is like cartoony, like it's weird.
Wait,
Um,
all right, say it one more time. You said they had real looking graphics, but then the smoke is cartoon.
the smoke is cartoony and like it'll. Let me see. Uh, Need for Speed Unbound is what it's called.
That was the last one.
Yeah, that came out December 2nd, 2022. But like I said, the graphics look weird. Here, I'll show you. I'll just show you. I don't know why we. Let me bring it up. Window, Steam. There we go. Um, yeah, see how it's got this realistic, but it's
Oh
like
yeah, I know what they were doing.
yeah,
I know
it's
what they were trying to do.
yeah with the graffiti look and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the little RC joint, the stuff that
yeah,
like Street Fighter does.
yeah. Yes, exactly that. Um, they tried to do that.
I mean, that's artsy. They running out of ideas. They're thinking that well, okay, the effect of the Switch, or shall I say Nintendo, which is everything is colorful, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody's trying to do. So throwing those little cartoon, little colorful little animations within the realism type stuff, like that's yeah, I can see them trying that and trying to
Yeah.
keep up with like the eye popping something, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but
But it never
regardless,
happened.
regardless, I really think like uh we're not really getting these Need for Speeds like that, and we doesn't need one. I mean not we, but Nintendo doesn't need a Need
The
for Speed.
Switch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Though
Whatever
I
you.
mean, even but even what kind of what Fusion is saying right here, he says Switch got Hot Pursuit and Burnout Paradise, which is cool. EA dropped the ball. Madden would have killed on the Switch. We don't have a Madden on the Switch. Ain't that wild?
I'm saying. Okay, there's a FIFA. Yeah.
FIFA, right? Like 2K, like we get the 2K stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't get the EA stuff. Yeah, because they still got that bitter taste. And I would even say this: it would have been dope. It would have been ridiculous if we would have got a Madden on the Wii U because you got the tablet right here. That's your playbook. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like that would
Yeah.
have been crazy.
Honestly, I don't think like Switch needs Madden, really. Which is
No.
shown it doesn't. But here, this is what I'm getting at. I'm thinking whatever Nintendo does,
Hmm.
leave EA alone. I think that's the whole. They're trying to Drake EA right now. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like come on, y'all, like protest with us. But everybody
Hey,
else is like, well, this Madden though, this is the reason why my PlayStation sold so much this year and that year and da da
mhm.
da. This Madden though, I don't know, bro. But I promise you, like if they all just follow suit
Mhm.
with Nintendo and stuff like that, I think because EA, I feel
Oh,
like
Retro
EA's
said
at
there
it.
was a Madden on Wii U. What?
Where?
I'm gonna have to go back and look for
Hold
that.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Like you didn't change the game. Wait
Yeah,
a minute.
hold on. But regardless, I think people are just starting to drift away from. I mean, companies are starting to drift away from EA. They're starting to be the like I said, Drake of gaming right now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Oh, there was, and it's got Megatron on it.
oh yeah, y'all had one. I mean, we had
13.
one.
Yeah, NFL 13 or Madden 13. What? I'm gonna have to go buy that.
Wait. Madden 13.
Yeah,
Madden 13.
yeah.
Like
NFL 13. Yeah.
year 13. Like
Mm-hmm.
2013.
Mm-hmm.
Why that one?
Because that was the year after the Switch came out. Because the Switch came out in 2012. At the end of 2012.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, so we about a decade and some
He
change
said
then.
he said Madden 13 on Wii U was Madden 12 with the 13 slapped on the cover.
Probably.
That's even worse.
Probably.
That's even worse.
That sounds about right.
Dang. Um, Richie said, I think the next console will be 399. What's your projection? Um,
I think we said that before too.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
because
I said 399.
yeah, because I think we kind of gave up scenarios. One scenario was is that it'll be 399 while all the other systems stay the same, or when the new system shows up, it'll be 349, 350. Replace the OLED. The OLED will move down to where the Switch is for 300 instead of 299. The original Switch will move down 50, so it'll be 149, and that will replace the Switch Lite, and the Switch Lite will move down to 99, so it'll be 100. So now they have 100, 150,
It
200,
should be 99
250.
right now.
Yeah.
Like
So
that light. It needs to be 99 right now.
oh, but you know they selling like crazy, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
They trying to pimp
They'll,
all
they'll,
of
they'll, I think they'll
it.
sell even more crazy if they go to 99 right now. You
Well,
can't dock the thing, can you?
the Switch Lite?
Yeah.
Uh-uh. No.
See, that's why it should be 99 right now.
But there's
Cause you,
nothing else under it though. There's no other console less than, or is the Xbox One S, is that 99?
uh-uh.
Okay, well then yeah, there's no other console. There's no other console in the current generation that's lower than it at this point. So they try to do whatever they want with that baby.
Yeah, yeah.
They try to get
But I, I don't see them bumping that down anytime soon.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's the other thing is like you said, like I kind of see the 400 scenario more so than I see them being like, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at that point, like they're already at getting close to that number one spot. Who else? You know what I'm saying? Like who is the one person who's like, nah, still not buying it. It's $50 too expensive. $50 too expensive. I ain't buying that. Like
Hey, you
as
know
soon as
what?
they drop, I'm
There,
gonna buy
hey, real talk. I think I was like that at one point. I think I literally was like that at one point.
it.
And then I realized that Nintendo wasn't going down.
It wasn't much. He's like, dang,
So
I'm
I
gonna
was
go a
like,
whole generation without this book.
okay, I'm gonna wait until I die, pretty much, because. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trade all these damn games in, and then see if we can work out a deal from there.
Yeah,
I'll
figure
make
out
my own. I'll make my own price reduction.
right. Since y'all ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it for y'all. Thanks, Nintendo. uh, he said, "I wish 2K would have made an NFL." Yeah, we had talked about that into the dirt about
Man, they
2K
had
making
one
a
at one point, and then
yeah,
it
yeah.
got kicked. Cause you remember that one cover that had To on it. I think it was at this time it was ESPN at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because you remember 2K came from ESPN and stuff, like,
Yeah, yeah.
Sega stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, though, they had one. Matter of fact, I think they actually went into the 2K series for a minute. Like, that first year they went into the 2K, where it actually said 2K, they went 2K with it. And they had a story mode, I believe, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or something crazy, but yeah. It was 2K5. But yeah, then EA. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
EA behind the scenes with the Drake stuff, Drake business, and the cease and desist. Like you,
He was talking to Family Matters.
exactly.
He says it's getting amazing. Last up. Yeah, I seen that. I just seen one thing for like 17 or something like that, but it looked like it jumped up. Like all the other prices were like 34 or something like that. The Switch launch year, EA put out several games. Yeah, but we haven't seen them since. Like I don't know. EA is funny, man. I don't even want to. EA is funny like that.
EA is losing it, dude. They need to just either restart somehow, revamp, rename,
They
or
need to do
sell,
something.
or just go out of complete business. Like,
They need to do something. I don't suggest liquidating off your assets though. Don't
mm.
start giving out games to other people. That what you know what I think is really killing
Hey,
them.
they should give Madden to 2K, man.
So I don't know about that,
They
man.
won't. They won't. Nah, that's
Even if they did, I don't. 2K now, I don't think that's a good look. Because then that's like, oh, now we got two games we can do these mad microtransactions on.
um.
The VC for both of y'all. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? Like,
question. Why, dog? This irritated the crap out of me when I was up there trying to I moved my 2K right one
mm-hmm,
day just to make room for I forgot what game it was. But anyway, I moved my 2K. I didn't pay attention to how many gigabytes it's taking, right?
mm-hmm,
I moved it back. How come it had more gigabytes than Starfield?
mm-hmm.
Bro, why is it so big? Like, I played this game in and out, pause, and I can't figure out for the life of me why is this game so big?
It's it's the same reason why Call of Duty's gigabytes are so big. They fluff it up and they do all this code and all this other stuff, but
Mhm.
they don't delete old code. Like when they
Mm.
update something or like it never gets deleted. Because
Mm.
really, honestly, like how much different is where are we at? 2K 24.
Mm-hmm.
So how much
It's not
different?
different. I know what you're gonna say. It's not different.
So why does it? Why would it call? Why would it have? Why would the space be so much bigger? You know what I'm saying? Than the previous game. If really all you have to do is delete out the old characters who no longer exist, or are free agents, or retired, or any of that, and replace them with other characters. Like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You don't even have to. You don't. What's even more crazy is like most of that work is already done for you. You know what I'm saying? Like the courts don't change. You know what I'm saying? The course is always the same. It ain't like you got to put in, okay, I got to take out these people in the stadium and put a whole new group of people in the stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't really watch them like that. It's always the same people walking all the way up the steps,
Yeah.
turn around, walk all the way down the steps.
You know, one thing I thought it was gonna have like less fans, or the arena was gonna be smaller for the women's part, and it's the
Mhm.
exact same fans stuff that just say like the Sparks or the
Yeah,
the Dream, and I'm
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
you didn't do
You
that.
didn't do anything. All you did was just map or people swap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that's it. That's it.
so
You
it
just
should
people
never
swap.
cost. It should never
It,
cost that much.
but then I started trying to like put it in my head like, okay, it got to be the online stuff. It got to be the online stuff. Then I was like, heck no, it ain't the online stuff. Like what? Then like yeah,
How much is different in the online? Like that really needs
nothing. Matter of fact, it's
exactly.
the exact same stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly my point. Like it should not be all that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Um he says Star Fox. So this goes to his previous one about lesser known IP. Star Fox Adventures, characters,
Oh,
Final Wings, Wave Race 1080. See, okay, so you're coming in. I really appreciate you, Risky. You're coming in. This is your first, probably your first episode with us on the podcast. But we've talked about these and about franchises that we want to come back, and a lot of these have shown up on there. It would be great, you know. And Custom Robo was like mine for a minute. Like, there's no reason why Custom Robo should not show up on on a Switch console at the very least. Since Nintendo is like kind of side hustling with like smartphones and stuff like that, not putting out full games, there should be no reason why there's not like Custom Robo's arena for a mobile device. Like that just makes perfect sense. Why would there not be? And if you really wanted to be greedy, and hopefully they're not hearing me say this, but if you really wanted to be greedy, you could do the whole pachinko machine with all the weapons and stuff like that. Oh, you gotta pay extra to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's, but you know, Eternal Darkness is its own little thing. I know they tried to do the spiritual successor with the second one. They still own the franchise. They still have the rights to the franchise. So hopefully, a lot of these games, I'm trying to say, hopefully when the Switch 2 comes out, we finally get a proper like GameCube esque Switch Online service, because that would be dope. And
I'm calling the new Switch too. I'm not gonna call it that. I keep yeah, like I know that's the code name we gotta call it for right now. I'm gonna call it something different. I'm gonna
remember,
call it. I'm gonna call it the Nintendo Box or something. I'm coming up with something weird.
remember, I called it the Switch X2 because the X was supposed to stand for the generation, for the 10th generation, but it also looks like times two, so it's supposed to be two times as
Hey,
powerful as a
what if they
Switch.
come out? What if they just like totally just screw with us and just come out with a fire name like the Switch Dragon or something like that, like or the Nintendo Dragon or something like just something just off the wall. You'd be like,
The Nintendo.
you'd be
You know what
like,
I'm
wait a
saying?
minute, oh
The
god, that the dragon sounds hard.
the Nintendo Phantom Menace.
Nintendo Vader,
Right. Wait, what?
the Nintendo Dark Side.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They'd be going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's gonna be hard.
It was missing the new engine for the.
Wait, what if they come out and say it's Nintendo? It's called Nintendo Computer.
Yeah.
Like what?
The
Like the
Nintendo.
Nintendo Computer?
Right.
What?
The Nintendo game in your hand. Game in your hand. Game in your hand. Game it. It's just one word. Game in your hand.
Or
It don't even
Nintendo
got the D. It
hand.
don't even got the D at the end. Game in your hand. Is that a Japanese word? Game in your hand. Game in your hand.
A Nintendo Stallion.
Like in my hand? In your hand. Game in your hand.
Your hand. You. What's your name? You.
Not
Me.
me.
Not me. You. You know, my name is you. Your name is me.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Dark Void said, my hypothesis is that there will be two SKUs for the next Switch. One will be a handheld only unit that will cost $299 to $349, and a unit with a dock that would be $399. Man, that would be expensive.
Nintendo Switcheroo.
I don't know if they'll get away with that, Dark Void. I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah, that's too much.
And they don't. And the last time they came out with two SKUs, that was with the Wii U. They really hadn't done that before, and I don't know if I really like that move. I think after trying that move, I don't know. I don't know if I can see Nintendo doing that again. I mean, if they do, they do. We've gotten the other SKUs like down the road, but like never at the same time. We'll see. We'll see. That's a scary one. Imagine a Switch Lite for $129 with Mario Kart. That'd be insane. Do you know how fast the price would drive up? That'd be crazy. J Biggs, I think $399 is a good price. I think that's a fair price. I think $399 is a fair price because it says like, yeah, we're trying to be competitive price wise with the other consoles. This is a newer console, but at the same time, it's not in the same form factor, and we can kind of see that. So a little bit cheaper, but you can still play all the games that like maybe they get blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's good. Oh, he said Series S is $299, so to still put it even under that. So yeah, that'd be bananas. Nintendo needs to remake The Last Story, Pandora's Tower, Ever Disaster, Crisis, PL3, and Mad World. I don't know if they would necessarily if they. So Nintendo's really weird about how they do stuff, like how they run stuff is weird to me. But I mean, if it works, it works. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily come in a remake. More so than they're like, here's that game. Hey, you remember that game that we used to have a long time ago? Well, here's that game, and it's available now in the eShop. And you're like, oh, okay. Like, is it a remake? No. Is it a remaster? No, it's the game that you had. Like, remember? And you're like, oh, I remember. And they're like, yeah, it's available now. You're like, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me go ahead and purchase that. And they're like, okay. You're like, all right. I'll see you later. Yeah, but I mean, they did the same thing with Tales of Symphonia, and I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be like Tales of Symphonia HD, maybe, but like really it's just Tales of Symphonia. And it's the PC version, if I'm not mistaken, the PS2 version of that game. So it's probably not Tales of Symphonia HD, but like it's literally just the same game. It wasn't like they went back and remade or remastered any of that stuff. So, but also that's not a Nintendo game, so I guess that's not the same. And it'd be on sale as low as $149.99, right? That was 2K. Yeah, he said it was 2K5. EA needs new management. They definitely need new management. Audio and unnecessary bloatware for you, Vito. That's why it's so big. What's your 10 favorite Switch games so far? 10 favorite Switch? You giving me 10? Golly, that's not enough. If I can flip around, hold on. I got all the cases here, and not in this order. I'm not telling you they're in this exact order, but I can give you my 10 favorites. Bayonetta 2.
3.
Or 3, thank you. Bayonetta 3. Yeah, that's 3, not 2. Bayonetta 3. Uh, did I pick up the right one? No, I didn't, because that's Forgotten Man. Tears of the Kingdom, obviously. Breath of the Wild, but let's just put both of those in the same category. How about we do that?
Nope, nope. Just Tears of the Kingdom.
We'll just count that as one. Like I meant like even though there's two games, we're just gonna count it as one. How about that? So that's two. Uh, Daemon X Machina. Um, oh, this is a banger right here. Shin Megami Tensei 5. How many did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4.
Mm.
Uh, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Dang, I definitely love Luigi's Mansion. Smash, which I have that digital. I didn't buy that via this. What's the game that what was it, Dark Void that I played with? No. Or was it it was Trinell, I think I played with. River City Girls 2.
Yeah, Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, Trinell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. I mean, I could give you more if I really needed to. I can give you a whole plethora more. But I won't though. But that's my joint. Those are my joints. Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually gonna go back and finish Shin Megami Tensei 5 again. Like I've already beaten it 3 times. And the first time was with the secret ending. But that game is so good. I'm just so mad that they made a whole nother game of that game with bonus DLC and is charging like a whole different price. It almost makes me want to take that game and go back to them and be like, hey, can I get the other game and I'll just pay what it would cost for the DLC for that? Can I do that? Because I know they're going to be like, no. Like that game is 2 years old. But it's the same game. And no, that game is 2 years old. But all I'm paying for really is the DLC. No. Get out. Man. 2K Run WWE on Switch. I've heard that. NBA is at least playable even if you need a 500. Yeah, I got 18 and after 18, yeah, 18. After 18, I was just like, I'm good. Vito gets 2Ks more often than I do. I'll pick
That's
up.
rare because I just get FIFAs now. Well, FC.
Yeah,
Football,
FC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. FIFA. 2K is like every 5 years or so for me because I'm not paying for a roster upgrade every
Well,
time.
no, I do take that back. I for the last couple of years, I have got the last 3 2Ks, and that's because I
Okay.
had
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but
special
one of those was
stuff.
different because of like, one was for the homage of Kobe,
Hmm.
uh, and I feel like another one had somebody special on it
Yeah,
too.
Candace Parker on
Yeah,
one of them.
yeah.
That was 22. 23. Actually, no, I skipped 23 then. Yeah. I skipped 23. Went to 24 because of Kobe,
24. Yeah.
and I might skip 25.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's much of a reason,
Yeah.
you know.
But I
Uh,
must say this they with the WNBA stuff in it, even though they're not dunking and stuff like that, the
mhm,
competitiveness of it, of like you coming down shooting and like the shots are dropping. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? Like it does change the game better than, well, not change it better, but it does make it fun. And so now
mhm,
that they have like Angel Reese in there and Katie up in that thug
Yeah,
thing, like it's gonna be even more like, oh, I gotta go online with this now.
yeah.
This is gonna be crazy. But just to see that they added that in there, it has made it a lot more competitive or a lot more fun. Like you have different options and just go to the what's the online joint, the My Player or whatever stuff.
Yeah,
The
my
little
player
yeah
joint. Yeah.
yeah, and then do your little if you want to do dynasties and story modes and stuff like that. Now you got more to it. You know what I mean? So I do give them credit on that, but I'm not buying 25. Definitely not. Especially with college football coming out.
Right. I really got it. Yeah, that's gonna be the banger right there.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Brand Smith said, "You giving me flashbacks, bro." Fusion. I don't want to relive the track. Yeah, they're talking about WWE.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, W Run's good though. If you haven't tried it, I have not. Um, if you're uninstalled due to need of a bigger SD, that sucks. Nintendo's next console will be called the Twerk. It'd be called more than butt cheeks, more than butt cheeks, more than. Let's see. Link's Awakening. Oh yeah, Link's Awakening. And I'm pretty sure I got that down. Let's see, Arceus. There's Zelda, Bayonetta. Yeah, Go Vacation. I got Hyrule Warriors. That might be one of the cases that my daughter took. She likes to. Oh, no, that's Skyward Sword. She likes to move stuff around. Like some of this stuff is up here, and not down there. Mario Wonder. You know what I'm saying? Like she moves stuff around because she likes to pretend she's doing podcasting. So, Link's Awakening, but definitely I like that toy box look. I think that's kind of dope how they changed that up. He said his favorite is Xenoblade 2, respectable. I wasn't huge on Xenoblade 2, but I respect it. Damon Ex Machina, yep, mess with that too. Definitely Premonition 2, okay. Bayonetta 3 and Bayonetta Origins. That was the one where Cereza was little, and I didn't play that one, but Jay said it was actually pretty good. You just have to kind of put your mind around it, like wrap around that it's not like the other Bayonettas, and it's actually enjoyable. Age of Calamity, yes sir. Dang, where you at?
That's the second one, ain't it?
No, that's the Hyrule Warriors joint. Age of Calamity.
That's what I'm saying. That's the second one, ain't it?
Yeah. From the Wii U. Yeah. Because the Wii U was the Hyrule Warriors, and then that one was Age of Calamity. Top K, Cruis'n Blast. That's the only one that I don't have. I really wish, and I still need to pick that one up because I really mess with that. Because I have this thing every November that's like my game and movie day. And so people come over to my place, and we say movies, but we end up playing video games all day. And Cruis'n Blast is actually a really good game for local co-op. No More Heroes 3, that one I didn't pick up. Obviously, yep, absolutely. And then Monster Hunter Rise. I already told you about my story with Monster Hunter Rise. Strangely enough, I have Monster Hunter Stories too. And I really enjoyed that, but that's kind of different. And it's kind of simple too, rock, paper, scissors type of style. So, but it is what it is. Animal Crossing New Horizons. That one I do not have on me because that is with my daughter as well. No Splatoon? No. Unfortunately, after 2, I kind of realized that Splatoon for me was like COD. Like, you got to be an individual on some Splatoon type stuff. Like you got to be a COD player, like COD level player.
Man,
on
yeah.
Splatoon, you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you about my recent like online. I was like, oh my god, dude, go to sleep.
Right. Like these cats be sweet out here, and I'm not. Even not being able to talk to people online, I can still hear them. Like
yeah.
whack. Come here, let me run you. Whack, see?
Man, look, there was just one match. There was one match, I swear he knew exactly when I was where and when I was about to, you know what I'm saying, pop back up. You know what I'm saying? Like just, so then I was like, Came down and I was like, dang, bro, I didn't even hit the ground. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? Because you know when I'm flying and stuff, I hit the
Yeah,
little real
you're
quick so I
shooting that stuff.
can.
Yeah,
No, that dude came out the. I was like, dog, for real. Little
yeah.
glasses and shoes fell off. I'm like,
And that is why I don't play that game, man. You be making me mad. And for some reason, my team always loses. Even though like I'm getting work, I
mm.
feel like my team, the rest of the team, is really holding it down. Like I should be the only one getting work, and we always lose. And I'm like,
Once I have a couple of matches, that's what I'm saying. Hey, me, you, and let's find some people. Like, I'm telling you, I'll take it there. I'll take it there. Especially when I post up and I do that my little sniper stuff, my little here, get up in the little ink real quick, come back up. Yeah, disappear back. Like, dang, where is he coming from?
He be drive by inking. Here he is, cuz. Here he is. There he is.
Or if I get the little roller, the big roller thing, I'm inked all up. Next thing you know, I come out of nowhere.
He run up on us. He said I still have plenty of faves to list off. Yeah, more than 10.
Yeah.
Also, Starling better than Starfights. Yes, that is one. You be surprised as to how many games my daughter actually takes from me for her Switch. But yeah, it's right here. It's right here. Um, she likes to grab all my stuff. Like, and yeah, and I got Kirby and I forgot mine. Yes, it's right there. What's crazy is I got the Lego Worlds case, but she definitely has the game. I would even say it to this too. I even got Sword. She's got the game. I got Marvel. She's got the game.
Mm-hmm.
I got Violet, and she tried to take the game, and I was like, "You're not taking. Finish one game before you take the other." I got Golf here. She got that game. Like she hoards my games. Like it's not like she doesn't have her own games to play. She's just, I just like playing your games.
Mm-hmm. Because you're dad. You're
Yeah.
dad.
That's exactly how it is. Jay said Tears, Odyssey, Metro Prime, Doom Eternal, Arkham, Vice City, Crisis, Resident Evil 5, Ultra Street Fighter 2, and Crisis 2. Nobody got ARMS in their top 10. So, I had ARMS. I had ARMS at one point early in the Switch life. That was like the 3 games that I had. I had Breath of the Wild, One Two Switch, and ARMS. I let go of One Two Switch, which I'm still mad that I did, because I love that box, the box mini thing. That thing is bananas to me. And then I let go of ARMS, but I let go of ARMS because I really didn't have anybody to play with, and I'd much rather play in local and stuff like that than play online. I'm not a huge online person, depending on the game. You know what I'm saying? Like Diablo 4 is always online, but you know, I play by myself unless I really need help with something. He said, "I love ARMS." I should have said top 25. I mean, we could go top 25. I just have to get my Switch to see which games I can remember. Thumper is on there. Absolutely love Thumper. Luminous is on there. Love Luminous. Luminous is actually one of my favorite puzzle games of all time. To be honest with you. I would put Fast Racing up there as one of my games, but nah. Twin Tails in my top 10 female characters. I mess with that. Megalodon is the biggest hidden gem on the Switch. Yeah, and I hope they make a Arms too. Because it's not a game that I wouldn't pick up. It's definitely a game I would pick up again. It's not a game that I would overlook. That's what I meant to say. Hidden gems on Switch. Definitely Cadence of Hyrule. Yeah, that game is good. Another hidden gem, Dead or Alive, Stream. That one I have not played. Wait, did I hear Go Vacation? Release your classic. Yeah, Go Vacation, right? Yeah, Go on vacation. Right here. This game, she has crunched mad hours into this game. I thought I crunched hours. She has crunched mad hours into this game. Yeah, I got it right here. Right here. I remember when this showed up on one of the Nintendo directs. Had to pick this game up. Had to. Absolutely. Had to. We even got Garage Builder right here. We even got Garage Builder. I don't play around. Let's see. Got like, nah, you're a Sony fanboy and a Nintendo fan club is funny. FJ, yo, what up, my boy? FJ, we got the other moderator in here. So FJ in here. Yo, appreciate you coming through, man. Let's see. You said on Twitter years ago saying no way Switch is gonna surpass PS4. But even if I always admit PS keeps destroying Nintendo every generation. Okay. Vito had to step out. That's okay. We're gonna keep going for a little bit. I think it says earlier, but funny. I've seen many videos today showing how PC won this generation, yet some intentionally outline Nintendo when in reality PC was never included in the console wars as well. They're called console wars, so I don't know how PC wins. That doesn't make any sense. That don't make no sense. They just don't want to give it to Nintendo, to be honest with you. PS just has better modern AAA. Wait, what? PlayStation has better modern AAA games compared to PlayStation. You got to change that around. PlayStation has better AAA compared to. I mean, facts. That is facts. But in the same token, Nintendo has better exclusives than PlayStation. As a matter of fact, PlayStation really doesn't have that many exclusives to begin with. Nintendo has laps and laps of exclusives over them. So, the idea of Sony is saying that the same incorrect thing over and over again, expecting different results. Nintendo games sell more and has better reception than most Sony games, though. Every season you only have your. I mean, this is true. He's right. Monato's true. Monato's speaking facts on that. So I want to get back to Splatoon 3. Sony might put out 10 games a generation on that level. Yeah, PS5 has 0. Yeah. I mean, we have Stellar Blade this year on PS5, so that's good. Yeah, and I expect Stellar Blade to actually sell well. I know we all love Nintendo here, but PlayStation just on another level when it comes to AAA. When it comes to AAA exclusives, let's look here. No, I don't want to look at the best games. I want to look at the best third-party games. Let's see. Monster Hunter Rise, if you count that as a third-party game, according to Wikipedia, because I'm not going to go too deep into looking this up, is at 7.7 million sold. That is probably the nearest third party. And after that is Suika Game. It's a 7.4 million. Then you got Minecraft at 5.6 million. And then it goes down to, I don't even know what that game is. It's something. It's some Japanese game. It's a board game by Konami. At 4 million. Among Us at another 3.2 million. Yeah. Yeah. Um, but see, having success with third party games like that, how much does that help Sony in their pockets? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, those games might be successful, but like at the same token, and I'm putting it in this scenario, when the Wii U was around and Mario Kart 8 was around, and these are even this is not as comparable. The success of Mario Kart was like 2 to 1. You know what I'm saying? Like 50, and it was like 50 or even more than that percent of the people who own the Wii U own Mario Kart. Like the attach rate was insane. It was nearly 1 to 1. But like on the Wii U, that really, even if you took the final number, really only meant 7 million. You know what I'm saying? Stellar Blade is my most successful right now. That's good, and I'm glad to hear it. But it's also an exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're talking about exclusives for a system, if you're talking about who has pure exclusives for Nintendo, let's see here. That's not Nintendo made. Um, let's see. Bandai Namco Studios doing Smash Bros is at 34.2 million. Game Freak, who is not owned by Nintendo, doing Pokemon is 26.27 million. These are AAA games. Game Freak doing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is at 24.92 million. Like Nintendo doesn't own those. You know what I'm saying? 15.7 million for Pokemon Let's Go. Arceus did 14.83 million. They own Next Level Games. Monster Hunter Rise, like I said. Suika Games is by Aladdin X, whoever that is 7.4 million. Mojang, Camelot, Tantalus Media. Oh, they outsourced that to Tantalus Media. Okay, I see what we got. Koei Tecmo helped out with Fire Emblem, which is 4.1 million. Feel Good, Mercury, Ubisoft. Ubisoft did Mario and Rabbids. That's another 3 million. Artwork Systems did Dragon Ball Z Fighters. But like now I'm getting into games that are on multiple platforms. But all the games that all belong to exclusives for Nintendo always are in the millions. Are all in the millions that I just said. So I mean, how many of those games started off on PS5 are now multi-plat? You know what I'm saying? So, Gamelan, what did you make it successful? We haven't even gotten started. Well, that's facts too. It keeps selling out in Japan. It's also number one worldwide. And Tremont at the end of the day is mostly just a buzzword. AAA games are getting out of this. Sorry, Stellar Blade is not even on the level of Mario Metroid. Yeah, and I'm not even comparing those to like exclusive first party exclusives. Pretty much that, unless you really want to play those PlayStation exclusives. I'm coming to you in a second, FJ. Hold on. Nintendo has more exclusives this year alone than Sony has in the whole. Yeah, that's facts. I look at PC and Xbox in the same light. PC is Xbox. It's big. Yeah, I can see that too. because they are really nearly one and the same. And Xbox depends heavy on PC gaming. So you heard something on Japan. So sold roughly 60K during its first week in Japan. Good, but not great. And Switch still number one best-selling console in Japan. Japan PS user posted. Somebody keeps selling. Somebody wasn't even a PS5. So Sony just got the publishing right. Sony has been focused more on non-Japan engine games. And it's more so a timed exclusive because you know it's about to go everywhere else. Has locked on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They play that game. They play that game of I'm gonna make this exclusive so nobody else touches it. So then when I'm done with it, then you can have it. Yeah, it's crazy. Smash Bros is Nintendo IP, Pokemon, Nintendo Company. Yeah, I know it's Nintendo's IP. However, it was Bandai Namco, third party, who really put that game together along with, well, not HAL as a whole, but Sakurai, to play devil's advocate. Nintendo doesn't own HAL Laboratory. Oh, okay, so if they don't, okay, oh, well then that's perfect. If they don't own HAL, which I thought they did, that's why I didn't include them in that. Then Smash would be under there. Game Freaks games would be under there. What's the first HAL? So Kirby and the Forgotten Land, 7.52 million for that. Kirby Star Allies, which is 4.38 million for that. Intelligence Studios Fire Emblem is 4.12 million. Intelligence for Paper Mario is another 3.4 million. So yeah, they're doing numbers. They're doing numbers and respectable for each of those genres. He said, let's just hope Nintendo's next console won't be a flop like the Wii U era. I highly doubt it. There's so many things that happened in the Wii U era that just they're not transferable to Nintendo from now on. So one of the biggest things that happened in the Wii U era is that they finally moved those two houses of handheld side and console side and put them together to create that, make sure that there's no drought. With that being said, now all your Pokemon games are not exclusive to just handheld. Now they're on both systems, and we already know, as seen by the numbers in the past and now, of how well Pokemon sells. Like that's guaranteed at this point sales from off a system. So on that alone, it's not going to be a flop. Wii U never got a 3D Mario either. And we got a 3D Mario for Switch, which I can imagine there will be another 3D Mario for whatever's next for the Switch. So that's another thing. I think a Zelda will eventually come. I don't think it'll be at the beginning of the year. So we're still going to get that. Metroid, while niche that it is, we haven't had a Metroid in a long time. That's a 3D Metroid besides having like the Prime remake. So you know that's coming. Mario Kart 9 eventually when that comes in life is going to show up on whatever's next. Like these are games that are guaranteed to sell. And I know you can be like, "Oh, well Mario Kart 8 was on there and it really didn't sell well on the Wii U." So like you can't really say that. But when you already have that base, when you already have that user base and you already have people who initially didn't buy into that, but eventually bought into it with the Switch, and now they're expecting something more with whatever comes next. Like that is going to be a game changer if it's not in the beginning, if it's not in the starting years of that system. There's so many things in place to move the Switch, and I think because you asked me up earlier about putting lesser known IPs on the system, that's when you start depending on like your B team or your backup franchises, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like a punch out showing up, out of nowhere, or for whatever reason, like a 1080. Can you imagine? Like, I won't say open world because that doesn't make sense for a snowboarding game, but like an open area 1080 game. You know what I'm saying? You get a whole big mountain to deal with, and like all those levels that you got from the original 1080 game, they're just on each part of the mountain. So the higher you go up, you kind of see each of those sections. Now they're all just put together as one. You can move over to the side and get to the half pipe and training area, or you can go over here and get to the big air area. So like there and wave race, like that can be, is just I'm not gonna keep going on and on about it, but like they have so many franchises. It's like, oh, these aren't working. Well, we can use these. We can depend on these and figure out a specific way for gameplay and stuff like that to be able to make that work. So like I don't think like the whole situation with the Wii U, and also too, they shot themselves in the foot, to be honest with you, by not really having like their own killer exclusives at the beginning of the Wii U life cycle. And it wasn't solely because they couldn't. It was solely because they wanted to give third parties that opportunity to put games out on the system, because that was kind of like the whole moniker is like, oh, like you have all your big games or whatever, so our games don't sell as well on the system because we have to compete with your game. So they were like, oh, okay, well, go ahead and put your games out. We're just going to put this little 2D Mario game out, and then that way we'll have one game, and then you guys can just flood it with a bunch of your games, and they can pick up whatever they want for that for like the first year, and then we can have our stuff. And that kind of bit them back because they were like, because everybody jumped ship, before the system. And I think you just want to certify like Wii U. So in love with I'm not in love with Wii U. Xenoblade Chronicles X is probably one of my favorite games. So one, I'm not saying it is my favorite game, but one of my favorite games of all time. If it gets the quality games the Wii U did, who cares if it's a huge success? It would be to gamers who enjoy. Yeah, like that's the thing. If you enjoy a system, sales really shouldn't matter in the first place. Like everybody who owned a Wii U and went through the whole life cycle of the Wii U, like had a good time. I enjoyed it. I was there day one. Had my Wii U day one. And as you can see, like I still have there's other games. I just have this one thing here. Like all my other games are out there. But as you can see, like I still show off, and these are like some of my favorite in the Wii U. Like that's why they're on this side and not on that side. But um some of those games, like all of those games that I ended up picking up for the Wii U, I had an absolute blast with. I had a great time with. I'm still wanting them to bring back a Pokken. Like, give me Pokken 2 like soon. Please do it now. You're not giving me Tekken. Might as well give me Pokken. You know what I'm saying? Um, we all agree. PC handhelds are not Switch competitors. What do you think these PC handhelds should do in order to actually compete with Switch? Stay in your lane. That's the best. That's the best answer I can give, man. He said, even though we all agree PC handhelds are not Switch competitors, what do you think these PC handsets should do in order to actually compete with Switch? Stay in your lane. Don't try to step outside your boundaries. What you're doing is well enough. And if you keep tackling that, if you make a new pillar, a new I don't want to say gimmick, but like a new focus on doing this, not year after year, but like just generation after generation of having this stuff, like that's your lane. Stay over there. Just keep making that and just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Like how Nvidia makes new chips and how AMD makes new chips and how we have new computers. Just stay over there. Don't try and move over to the Nintendo side. Like, oh, now we want to have a system that you can take off the sides and you can do like that. Ain't y'all. That's not for y'all. Y'all not innovators like that. Y'all follow the basics of what's great about something else. Stay over there. That's fine. PC handhelds, they really took off after the Switch really got it right. Got the formula right. Now that they got the formula right on how a handheld should be, stay in that lane until Nintendo decides to do something completely different. Then you can take the bones of that and stay in your lane. Don't try and become consoles. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not for you. Let's see. PC handhelds can't compete due to ease of use. It will never be as used for. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, stay in your lane with it. Stay in your lane. Do not get out of your lane with that. That's not for you guys. Let's see. Sensor. We use Flop because of many reasons, but I mean, the lack of first party games, not third party exclusives, and many good games were on the. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. What up, Night Wolf? Nintendo should never trust third party to launch their console. Also, never trust a game. Yeah, that's another thing. And thank you for that, Night Wolf. I appreciate you saying that. That's another thing. Um, Gaming media was a thing back then. Gaming media has no effect on Nintendo now because they do Nintendo Directs. Everything that you're getting is directly to you at this point, and they've mastered that formula. You remember them years when we first started off with Nintendo Directs, and it was kind of a whole lot of plan, and them, with the banana and please understand and all that. They don't have to do that anymore. Like it's just like boom, 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 boom. Here's the next game. 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 Boom. That we're giving it to you straight forward. You don't have to look for anywhere else. You don't have to ask anybody else. You don't have to inquire about anything. It's right here for you. Boom. So that's another reason why it's not going to follow that same formula. Best Splatoon is still on Wii U. Final Fantasy 16 won't be on the next console. I don't know. Again, I don't know. Square Enix is similar to how Rockstar is. Like, and I'm not saying this like, oh, everybody who hasn't dropped it is because they're like Rockstar. They're like Rockstar. Oh, they're like Rockstar. It's not a defense thing, but it's the truth. Like they just got Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII, the original, not even like the new updated Final Fantasy. You're getting Final Fantasy, the original game, finally coming to the Switch when that game was supposed to be on the 64. So like a lot of those companies like to pay like, oh, we're playing catch up because you guys missed all this. So instead of giving you like the recent stuff, we're gonna catch you up on all the old stuff. Like we didn't play any of that stuff before. But I say all that to say that I wouldn't count Final Fantasy 16 out of not being on the next console. It would be old by the Switch. It's old now. Yeah. See. Hot take, but I even argue Zuma Karma has better soundtrack than the class. But this because Karma also has composed by who did Attack on it. Yeah, I love Xenoblade Chronicles X. So. FJ, he said it's highly likely that Nintendo will adopt the same formula for the upcoming Switch 2 as they did for their OG. This formula has proven. Yeah. It's NES to Super NES. You know what I'm saying? It's NES to Super NES. The formula has worked, and it's already working. So I wouldn't be surprised if if you're getting another Switch, exactly like that Switch, just more capable. Um, I want to see them do more with the HD Rumble though. That's like the only thing. That's my biggest gripe. Right, there's something itching in my nose. It's itching me like crazy. Um, that's the only thing that I really wish that they would do more with, because HD Rumble was like, it was a pretty dope feature. And actually listening or doing that with the box, I've said this a plenty of times, so Risky, you might be new to this idea, but the fact that when HD Rumble first came out, I was saying that it would be the dopest thing to be able to have like your Switch controllers. And because it's so sensitive, the HD Rumble is so sensitive. Like every time you like Call of Duty, for example, shooting like a pistol or something like that, and you actually feeling the bullets fall out of the chamber. You know what I'm saying? Like pop out of the chamber. Like that would be insane. And it could have been done with the HD Rumble, but unfortunately we never got a Call of Duty. And even Nintendo is not really holding the HD Rumble up like that. So why would other developers? I think these PC handhelds shouldn't be really PC like. Have your own OS and have some oscillators. Whereas the Steam Deck is kind of close to being that sort of. Yeah. I mean, I think if they do have exclusives like that, they just, I don't know, man. But that's kind of the problem. Is like, if you got one of those and had exclusives, that means that Steam Deck would, or the Steam library would kind of have to change. Um, in the sense that at least Steam, for that. But in that kind of sense, because when you get on the handheld, like it would allow you access to that specific game, but like when you got onto your PC, it would be like shaded out or something like that, like not available for PC, which is kind of weird because then that means that you're taking away from this like PC world. Now you have created two separate SKUs, and that's what really is supposed to make it. It's kind of like well, it's not even like the Switch to Switch Lite. It kind of is, but kind of isn't. Because the thing with the Switch is like you have all your games and you can switch it from TV to handheld. But with the Switch Lite, you could only do handheld. However, all those games that are on the Switch are accessible to Switch Lite, besides some of the games that require like individual Joy Cons. Um, Whereas the PC is dedicated here, um, and uses that same like library. But then when you talk about like having your library and then some of that only exclusive for you to pay a whole $500 $600 to play an exclusive, or like a few exclusives, or how many ever exclusives, then it starts to get a little muddy, as far as that goes. It's and then you're wondering like, well, my Steam Deck can connect to my TV, so why am I not able to play this game on PC, which also utilizes a monitor, and I can play it on my Steam Deck? And like, then somebody's gonna be like, you can't tell me that I can't just use one of these on my PC. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, it would be weird. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Also, physical media does, or physical media than just Micros. Yeah. It's PS5. It's just PS5. Just they're going back and forth. Nintendo just needs to control their own mess. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Gaming facts. Like I'd rather get a gaming monitor than Steam Deck and those PC because that type you can do more and also game on that. Facts. I would never buy a PC handheld because I honestly have no need. Like I said, all the games that I have on Steam, I specifically play them here for this moment. I have I have like Diablo 5. I don't use a controller to play Diablo 5. I don't want to touch a screen. I don't want to use the touch pads. Keyboard and mouse. That's all I need. Um, some games I do play with a controller, but again, I just want this focus. Like y'all can't tell. I've already said this too, but I'm on an ultra wide screen, 49 inches. So pause. So having a game that gives me full motion and full sight like is fine with me. To take it down to play on something that's a little bit bigger than this, I'm good. Square Enix not making a Final Fantasy exclusive was a huge, yeah, and it's biting them in the butt now because they're bleeding money like crazy. Hell yeah, PC is not me. I know similar to PF. No, no, timeout. Well, yeah, I guess because it presents more functionality than a PlayStation Portal. Let me tell you, PlayStation Portal, boy, the Sony's Wii U. I prefer Splatoon 3 than COD any day. Facts. The last good Call of Duty was Black Ops 2 on the Wii U. After that, yo, Call of Duty on Black Ops 2, the Wii U version, that was dope, man. Asynchronous gameplay. That was the banger right there. Yeah, Switch being hybrid is a gimmick that neither Sony nor Marvel can mimic, unlike the motion control. What's so funny is I'm so curious, man. I am so curious. Sony and Microsoft can't afford to let that money get away for a whole nother generation. I don't think they're gonna like hurry up and like call it quits for the PlayStation 5 and the Series X. But part of me is putting on my Grinch face, like that, where his little thing curls. Part of me really feels like they are gonna come out with some sort of versions of like handhelds, like because that money is too lucrative. Like a PlayStation 6. And I'll bring it back. When we heard Sarah Bond talk about possibly another half step from the next Xbox, do you know how many people groaned about that? You know how many people are like, oh my gosh, they're talking about a new most powerful system? Like, and you're not doing nothing with this one, and we're not really seeing much come out of this. Like, and that's even for PlayStation. I don't know, man. You heard it here first. Y'all can quote me on it, and if I'm wrong, I will eat that humble pie. You guys know I have no problem eating that humble pie. But part of me feels like when this next generation comes around and Sony and Microsoft have a chance to come out with the next generation system, it's going to be in some sort of smaller form factor. It's going to be in some sort of handheld. I'm feeling it. I feel it deep down in my bones. They're going to be like, yeah, we can't. Y'all not getting away with this one. Whether it's Sony decides like the PlayStation Portal is um uh, also works with whatever new Sony handheld, so you can do asynchronous gameplay or something. I don't know. I feel it, man. Like I feel it. Um, let me see here. By opening via Steam, I can actually use my Switch Pro controller and even Joy-Con to play against it. I started. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I like that about Steam that you can use basically any controller, and play. Microsoft may drop a Game Pass streaming handheld. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I just feel it in my bones, man. I really feel it. How does someone put the power of a PS5 as far as so okay, so this is the thing. And this is where as a Nintendo fan, this is where you finally bring out that Joker card. You know what I'm saying? The joke is on you. You a joke. Haha. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? You copy and paste everything that anybody has ever said about the PlayStation 5 being the most powerful console and how they need this much power and how they need 60 frames per second and blah, 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 blah. And this and that. No. Power of the SE. No. And if there's a gaming handheld, I guarantee you that it is not going to be as powerful as the PlayStation 5, but they're going to talk about efficiency. They're going to talk about how much more efficient it is than a PlayStation 5. The GPU and the CPU is this much more efficient. They aren't going to talk about teraflops and all that other stuff, and fast SSD, solid state drive crap, RAM and all that. They're going to talk about efficiency and how long the battery life lasts. They're going to try and play it smart. So, and the question will come up, how powerful is the Sony device? How powerful is the Xbox device? And these are the words that journalists and media are going to use. It's nearly matching the PS5. It's nearly matching the Xbox One X. Nearly. It's nearly matching. You can hardly tell a difference between the two. Like these are the buzzwords that they're going to use. Once again, y'all heard it here first. So if it ends up being true, you go out and you tell them Sandstorm McDowell told you first. Like he already what's the word? Already had the premonition of it being something that has happened. PlayStation dropped more console variations than games into super facts. They still can't figure out how to have like the faceplates without getting in trouble for them with third parties and all that other stuff, or the other way around. Third parties are still having trouble doing with the faceplates and all that other stuff. Games don't need that much power. I haven't seen a single PS5 game that can run. That's what I'm saying. That's facts too. They like to pretend though. Sony and Microsoft can't go back in power. They already been promising power hardware and through. They can hardly reach there. That's what I'm saying. Like they won't talk about power. They will talk about efficiency. Somebody will ask them a question and say, how much more powerful is this? Because this is crazy that you're putting this in a form factor and it looks so good. I'm being a journalist right now. It's crazy that you guys have this in a form factor and it just looks so good. It looks so amazing. I mean, the OLED screen, wow, it's dazzling. It's so beautiful. How did they get this much power inside this handheld? And the person will respond, well, we look for different ways for the GPU to be as efficient as possible. And so we came up with this idea of blah, 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 and utilizing blah, 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 blah. And that is the way, and that way we can make these games look absolutely stunning. Like, do you see how much the colors pop and how realistic this looks on the screen? Like it's absolutely stunning. So now when you attach it to blah, 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 and you play it on the TV, now the system, blah, 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 and you have these stunning graphics only with the efficiency. Thank you, FJ. Only with the efficiency of are you getting blah, 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 blah. Like they will never say the word power. Never say the word power. The new word now is going to be efficiency. Yeah, funny. PS5 were not needed yet. No, they weren't. They could have still stayed with the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. Nintendo is the only one not having crisis mode this month, and because they future-proof themselves. That's what they do. FJ said power means nothing, but Risky says power is everything. He said without power, your game won't be able to run nicely or look modern. Just look at how PC games run. Super facts. And he's right. He's right on that. Um, power is not everything. And I explained this earlier. When you're talking about engines, when you're talking about gaming engines, engines are designed to work with almost everything at this point. Like there's no like it. Let me show you this. Um, Let me show you this because this one I will show you. Shadow had me look this up, and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." Um, Ring. I wish I had saved this too. All right. Let me give you these specs real quick. So the specs for this guy's PC, and let me see if I can find one even worse than that because I want to make sure. Let's see. There's a bad PC, and let's see. Okay, that one was just somebody talking. Okay, so you have here the specs on this guy's PC is an Intel Core i5 3470, 8 gigs of 1666 megahertz DDR3 memory, a Galaxy GTX 1050, 2 gigabytes, and 512 gigabyte SSD. 512 gigabyte SSD. Running Elden Ring. Running Elden Ring. And you're telling me, no, I'll put this in full for y'all. There we go.
It was somewhere in 2015. Quick disclaimer, I didn't have a script when recording the voiceover of this object flickering. And don't worry, it doesn't pew 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 pew. I was watching
Game
a
is
PewDiePie
running.
video. I mean, it's 2015. Everyone was watching PewDiePie. And he was playing a game called...
Game is running. Look at that. With that kind of specs. And you're telling me that the next Switch can't run that. Switch graphics is definitely not basically PS3 era. Wrong era, bud. Move up 2 eras. Move up 2 eras. I love, yeah, now you're talking crazy. He said I love Mario Wonder, but the game looks like it came out during GameCube Wii era, but with HD. And neither one of those systems have HD. So I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about functionality? Like I don't know what you're talking about. He said, "Look, Monitor, how does Mario Wonder not look Monitor?" Right, super facts. You can build a PC that costs between 900 and 1200 and efficiently runs any modern game. Right. Wouldn't it be funny if Nintendo is the last console brand standing? I think that would be really interesting. I don't want that to happen though, because then that Nintendo, if you weren't around for the early 90s, Like, yeah, we got all those games on one system, but that put a bad taste in there and developers' mouths and stuff like that. Which I guess on the side, that is also why we got so many games, because they were like, oh, you can only have so many games out a year, so they had to make other development studios to be able to like get around that. And that's why we got so many different studios and so many different variations of like great games and stuff like that. That was great. Now we don't have those studios anymore. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust any one company, not even Nintendo, with just being the only in something. Like, I don't trust them. Um, Let me take this off here. I don't want to get copyrighted. Let's see. Look, read that. Read that. Let's see. Risky. This is why people be mad at you in other chats. You be trolling too much. You don't have to worry here though. You're trolling is hilarious. We have a good time on here. Super facts. Thank you, Brad Smith. Thank you, my moderator. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're not going. Most of the people probably would have banned you, and everybody would have ate you alive before they banned you. But we don't. We're not gonna do that here. Yeah, like as long as you are respectful, you can stay here as long as you want, man. You can stay here as long as you want. Come every week. We don't care. Come every week. Switch has many games that you never thought it runs on Switch. So you're saying Switch is PSD graphics is relevant. Yeah, like Witcher 3. Witcher 3 isn't on PS3, is it? Neither is Dragon Ball Fighters, neither is Kakarot, neither is Ace Combat 6. I highly doubt Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, no, Scarlet Nexus. Um, yeah, the list goes on. Any games or modern games, they are what's holding the modern consoles afloat. Yeah, and I will even push that fusion. Indie games are the current third party games. Really, like these bigger third party games and stuff like that. I don't even know what you. We need to have a different classification of what we consider those, because indie games now, like those are the ones. So third party games back in the day were the ones who were being like really risky. You would have different, crazy scenarios and stuff like that for different games that were very fun. That's indie games now. Those are the new AAA new third parties. I don't know what you call the old third party of the old world old world third party. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Retro, yeah, Fusion's a coin quadruple A. Yeah, yeah. Um, when I was saying player instance already banned, this risky dude. Oh yeah, we're not gonna ban you though. We're not gonna ban you. I'm saying you can handle the truth. Your facts are in your own mind, my guy. Your facts are in your own mind. Whatever you have to tell yourself to sleep at night. Um, Yeah, I talk to uh OJ every now and then, more than now. Um, just don't think I have him on like speed dial or anything like that. And yeah, so I know he can be like, I don't have a tolerance for it, blah 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 blah, whatever. But I enjoy the hate. I bring the hate. I'll incorporate it. It is what it is, man. Either you agree or you don't agree. I don't really care. I'm gonna tell you that you're wrong still. Like you're not right about certain things, or I'll tell you my side of the view. But once again, I ain't gonna ban you about it. It is what it is. I think Scarlet Nexus will be on Switch eventually, but I have it on Steam when it was discounted too. I thought Scarlet Nexus was already on Switch. Um, I swore it was already on Switch. Oh, maybe it's not. I always thought it was. And what game was I thinking of? Um, I mean, it says that it is coming to Switch. It just says it's coming at a later date in the future. Interesting. Um, dang, what game am I thinking of? I can see her face too. I can see her face. Yeah, I'm still blanking on the name. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna get there. Um, Nier Automata. Yeah, duh. Thanks, Monato. Thank you, Nier. Yeah. Um, yeah, appreciate that, Future. Yeah, I should have just looked back over here. FJ said, "Please come to the next one. I'd like to see you make affiliates." Yeah, yeah. Hey, come to all of them. I told you before. I told you before. If you want to come to this channel, I would be more than willing to have conversation with you every single time. It does not bother me. Just know, one of the times you mess around, and you get Shadow on here, it's not gonna go as nicely. Like Shadow will definitely have his way. He will definitely have his way with you. But Shadow is also the same way. Like, he will never ban you. It would have to be you to ban him. He doesn't ban people either. Um I farm the hate. I love poking fun. He's yeah. That's I'm the same way. Yeah. Red Smith. Shadow won't pull any punches. Like, he he'll go off, man. He'll go off, but he'll spit facts to you too. Doom Eternal, Bomb near. Yeah. We found it. Tales of Rise. This is on Switch either. Yeah, that's stupid too, because the Symphonia and the other one that I was playing, Vespera, they're on there. I think Arise should come as well, and that's Bandai, man. That's just Bandai being Bandai. I think it'll come. If it doesn't come with this Switch, I feel like it is gonna come with the next iteration. Nier Automata is on Switch, but not relevant. Yeah. So with that being said, too, I forgot to put this too, and we're at 3 hours, so we're gonna wrap up soon. But um, also, Nintendo talking about how they're gonna talk about the rest of this year. And I'm sorry, Jay Biggs. I'm sorry. I don't know if he's still on here, but I'm sorry, Jay Biggs. I have to say it. But they're talking about the rest of the year for their upcoming lineup, all the way to the holiday, and then they said at a later time they're going to talk about the next their what comes next for their consoles and stuff like that. And I told you guys, I've been saying it. I said it last year. I've said it last year, and I'm still trying to find like the first time I said it. And I want to say it was in July, maybe August, that if something wasn't said by October of last year, the Switch is not coming until 2025. I've said that. Like, it. That's how far back I was saying it. And then everybody else who's like been in, like Jay Biggs and stuff, who has been in our chat since then, Brand Smith, Dark Void, they could tell you, like, I've been saying 2025 was going to be the thing, even when the stuff started coming out, that it was coming out in 2024. And I'm like, oh, are they going to drop it at holiday? Because holiday doesn't sound like a likely time to me. Like, that just, I feel like with how big and how successful the Switch started with its kick, dropping in March like that, and that's during I don't know how it is outside of the United States, but at least in the United States, that's tax season. people are looking to get their taxes back to be able to spend money. You're the only person in that time to throw out a system during tax season. Like, that's an easy buy for most people because they have money on hand. They're gonna buy it. And that's how it ended up with the Switch. Like, people were buying it in droves. People bought Breath of the Wild. I don't know too many people who bought Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. They bought it for the Switch, especially when they found out that the functionality of the Wii U controller wasn't going to be the same as what they thought they were going to get originally. So they just went ahead and bought a Switch and bought the next system and bought Breath of the Wild. Like, I can easily see that scenario running around again. And Brand Smith says May 25th. I wouldn't shrug at that. I wouldn't shrug at that. Like, showing it off in October or November this year for us to get another final presentation in January or February for it to drop in May, March, April, May, easy scenario. Like, do it again. Like, that's why drop it in a time of the year when you can allow your competitors to look at you, be like, oh, they're dropping it for full price for this much. Let's go ahead and do a discount. Like that, both of your competitors, Sony and Microsoft, doesn't sound like a good idea to me. I mean, but that's me personally. I just don't think, like, as much as a consumer, I would like to have that system in my hands sooner. Doesn't sound like the best idea to me if I was an owner of a system. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just because game companies don't normally do Black Friday bundle sales and tax season. Like that doesn't really, hey, come get this tax season bundle. We doing a tax season bundle. We doing a super early Black Friday bundle or something like that. Like, it doesn't really happen. So you're by yourself. FJ said 2025. He said 2025 is okay. My bank account can rest a bit. Yeah, that's what. And that's another thing. 2025, especially during that tax season, means you actually have money on hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, for most people, you don't have to build up that money. You don't have to save that money. You don't have to look at investing into trying to get that money. Like, that money is already gonna be somewhat available to you at that point. He said, save $10 a week, you'll have the money ready. Yeah, that's true. Some people can't save $10 a week. I mean, I can save $10 a week. That's not hard. But most people who got lives and who live like from paycheck to paycheck, you can't really save $10. This is a struggle. You said Tales Rise, Code Vein, and Scarlet Knights. I think it'll be. Yeah, I think they'll come. I definitely would not be surprised if they came. I think there's some other titles in there that you might see sneak in there. Don't be surprised if WB dropped something like Shadow, what is that? Shadows of Mordor and Shadows of War as a bundle over there. Just because they want a little bit more money from those games. Don't be surprised if that showed up. Ransom said Bandai did make Nintendo Port Studio as well. Yeah, see, that's a smart idea anyway. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just the release time of the Switch and they specifically were like, yeah, don't expect it to be in our talks when we talk about the rest of the year. Don't expect none of that. You ain't getting none of that. So I don't. It's different when we talk about games. Like when they're like, oh, don't expect to hear more about, the next Zelda or whatever. And we know like a Zelda's coming. Expect to at least get like a little hint, like a little, like one more thing. But when a console, no. What did you ask? Fusion. The real question is, how many third parties will go digital only on Switch 2? The super real question is, can we get these carts the 8 GB or the 16. I don't know which one is the default at this point right now. Can we get the 32 GB cart to get down to at least to the 16 so that we can make so that more developers will come over for that to happen? I really hate doing 8 GB carts or 16 GB carts and then them turning around and having to still download the other half of the game on the system. That's such a waste. I hate that. I cannot stand it. It irritates my soul. Um, but I hope that that is the case, that they can figure out a way to get that stuff down so not everything is digital. Because I don't think Nintendo's not looking to make a digital system yet. I don't think so. I don't even think with the next iteration after whatever the Switch 2 is, unless something drastic happens in those next 6 to 7 years. Missy said, when do you think Nintendo June Direct is going to be? Exactly going to be? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be after everybody else, though. Because June is still, while we don't have E3 anymore, it's still like our Christmas time, and we still know that other developers and to a lesser degree the big three are still going to drop something around that time. And since they did say it was going to be a June Direct, I would imagine, and I think Game Freak is still going to show off something separate outside of Nintendo. They didn't last year, but they did the year prior. So I would say that we may get a Pokemon Direct or something like that at the end of this month. With June coming around, it may be as well somewhere between like the 14th and um 14th. I have to look at my calendar. Phone's right here. Let me see. Let's see. Between, you said the 12th, which is a Wednesday. That's not bad. 14th is not going to happen because that's a Friday. Yeah. Who said the 17th and the 28th? Risky, you said something? Yeah, I can see that. Well, the 28th is the following week. I'm going to say the 7th. It's either going to be between the 17th, 18th, and 19th. And if I had to be more specific, I would say it was either going to be the 17th or the 19th. Less likely the 18th. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to switch that around. I think it's either going to be the 17th or the 18th. Not the 19th, because 19th is Juneteenth and Nintendo's not doing anything on a holiday. Like that ain't going to happen. Or that big of a holiday, I should say. So it's probably going to be on the 17th. Yeah, let me make sure I got that right. Yeah. I'm gonna say that. Shay said, "Please no all digital." I highly doubt it. Nintendo. It is physicals are still way too lucrative for Nintendo, especially when you get games like Astral Chain, which sold a lot, or even what's the game that kind of started that trend? Xenoblade and Xenoblade's DLC. I can't remember. Torna. Like when those games come around, like that's just too lucrative for them. That's just too much of a smart move. He says June and the later half, Night Wolf. I can see that. Middle of June. Oh, so y'all just think, yeah, right after NES championship launches. I think that would be a pretty bold move too. And that's another thing too. Getting the NES championship game launched, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Nobody was asking for that, and they still did that anyway because of an anniversary. I think that's sweet. It will before Luigi's 2 Mansion 2. I could see that because I feel like they'll probably just throw that in there as like one last time so you know about it type of deal. But yeah, it's 17th or 18th. I'm gonna probably say that'll give enough time for everybody else to do their own thing. Time for us to sweat just a little bit. When is Nintendo dropping? They said they were going to drop. They haven't made an announcement yet. What games will come? Like all those reports, and I'm sure we're going to do it here too. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting time. As far as those specs, because I kind of leaned into it, but not lean too much into it. The specs that we got about, and I know Risk even really wanted me to. Uh, I know that's the main reason why you wanted to come around because you wanted to hear me talk about the specs. Talking about the 12 gigabytes RAM, they said 2 times 6 gigabytes LPDDR, low power DDR5, basically. Um, for a total of 12 gigabytes. Um, and then 256 gigabytes of storage. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't really see that as a big problem. Some people are saying that's the specs are higher than a PS4, near more so near a PS 4 Pro. Was it PS like closer to the Xbox Series X level? Honestly, that's fine. And actually, and all actuality, I think that in ways saves Microsoft um, while keeping Nintendo's own identity. You know what I'm saying? Like Nintendo be sneak helping other people. Um, Case in point, we're getting a Zelda movie that's made by Sony. Like what? What? Well, you know what I'm saying? So, but I say that to say, like, if developers are willing to, or not willing, if developers are going to be making games for the Switch 2, there shouldn't be that much of a deal to make and have a game for the Xbox Series S, if that's the way that they're looking at it. Rizzy said, Metroid, other M remake, please. I know a lot of people who really want that. That'll be interesting. Could just see when Microsoft has their convention center open for a show, and we'd know then. It still blows my mind. Samus Returns never got ported. Never say never. I'm sure it'll come at some point. Um, so we are almost dang. We are like I'm pushing OJ numbers right now. We're at 3 hours and 21 minutes, but it's like 42 of you guys on here. What's going on? I appreciate that. For everybody who's watching right now, please make sure you hit the like button. Really, please make sure you hit the like button because that does this channel just an amazing service. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe because we are having a 500 subscriber giveaway where we give away $50 to our lucky winner. Whoever gets drawn at the point of us having 500 subscribers, we are definitely looking to grow the channel. Shout outs to Jay Biggs again, man. He's going to be our moderator, our newest moderator. That claim was made by none other than the co-host Trey Vito. So we really appreciate him. He shows up for every single one of our podcasts, not just mine, but the Winging It podcast and the Jill podcast that I'm on, and on the Vitoverse, Trey Vito's channel as well. So thank you so much for that. Real quickly here, because we are going to call it every Saturday. This is for you, Risky, because everybody else knows. But every Saturday at 9 o'clock is when we have our podcast. This is when the Stormcast is on every Saturday. Every Friday is Trey Vito's at 9 o'clock. Every Saturday is mine. Every Sunday is the Winging It podcast. So if you want to get me in the group talking about it, show up at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the Winging It podcast on Winging It. And if you really want to get some people with mixed reviews, if you want the mixed reviews, go to the Jill podcast, which I'm also a part of, and talk with them there. Because you got some Nintendo heads. We all love Nintendo, but you got some who are little more for PlayStation. You got some people who are a little more for Xbox. Mr. T is on there. Terminator Juice. Retro's on there. Trinell is a part of it. Robert's part of it. Clocked It is in it. And then me, of course. And then on the Winging It podcast, you got Jay, you got Jack from Media Grounds. You got Andre, who is the game idea guy, Shadow Fox, me, and Vicky, who is our neighborhood troll. So like you got plenty of people to go ahead and make mad if you would like to. But make sure you subscribe to all of them. Please. That's all. That's my only ask of you, is make sure you subscribe to all of them. Other than that, thank you guys so much for coming through. I really appreciate you all. Really appreciate my monitor. Let me give a shout out to all you guys. Thank you, Fusion, for coming through. Risky, I really appreciate you, bro. Really appreciate you. Even though I don't always feel like you're right, you definitely keep the conversation going, and I love that. I love having conversations with people who like keeping conversation going. Monato, appreciate you as well. Night Wolf, I see you. FJ, my moderator, coming in with Brand Smith and Dark Void. I really appreciate you guys for holding down the chat and everything. Squared was in here. Thank you, JT Gamer. Thank you so much for coming through as well. Who else do we have? Night Wolf, of course. Triple M was in here earlier, so I appreciate him showing up. J Biggs, of course. Exodia holding down the fort for us. He came in early, man. I thank you, man. You've been showing up a lot too. I really appreciate that. And I believe Andre, the game idea guy, I believe that's it. I believe that I got all of y'all who shut up. Brand Smith. Yeah, like I said, Brand Smith and Dark Void, Squared, Andre. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming through. Oh, he's still listening. Okay. I appreciate you, Squared. Yeah, you heard an engaging conversation then, man. You didn't say much, but he was hearing everything. I really appreciate that. So yeah, appreciate you too, bro. So thank you guys so much. You guys have a great night. Monato said gaming was a test for Mercury Steam, and they went on and made Metroid Dread. So hopefully, yeah. Number one. Yeah. So we'll see you guys tomorrow on the Winging It podcast. Make sure before you leave up out of here, like I said, hit that like button and that subscribe button if you are not subscribed. And we will see you guys later. Peace.